for Ukraine. He added that only with this agreement can we end the war in a way that Ukraine needs. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
The Democrat-controlled panel investigating the U.S. Capitol riot, targeting a couple of former Trump advisors.
The House committee investigating January 6, 2021, has voted unanimously to hold former Trump advisors Peter Navarro and Dan Scavino in contempt of Congress. Navarro and Scavino have refused to comply with subpoenas from the committee. Navarro was subpoenaed to testify in early February. Scavino was subpoenaed last fall.
That's correspondent Mike Gracia. The two former Trump officials claimed executive privilege in ignoring the committee's subpoenas. Wall Street stock futures sharply higher. Dow futures up 259 points. NASDAQ futures ahead 158. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Tell me why Relief Factor is so successful in lowering or eliminating pain. I'm often asked that question. Pete and Seth Talbot, the father and son founders of Relief Factor, tell me they believe our bodies were designed to heal. The doctors who formulated Relief Factor selected the 4 best ingredients, 100% drug-free ingredients that each help your body deal with inflammation. Order the 3-week quick start now. Discount it to only $19.95 to see if it will work for you too. Call 800-500-8384. ReliefFactor.com.
How long does it take to tackle a home project? With Angie, you could cross it off your list before this ad is over. Just tell us what you need. Indoor or outdoor, repair or redesign. And we handle the rest, sending a top pro to get it done. You don't have to lift a finger, except to tap the screen or click the mouse. Plus, Angie is free to use. So bring us your next home project, and we'll bring it home. Download the app or go to Angie.com. That's ANGI.com to get started.
Saudi Arabia's oil chief says global energy markets going through what he calls a jittery period, and his added remarks will not be calming things down.
Prince Abdulaziz bin Salman says the kingdom's ability to ensure energy security is no longer guaranteed. Bin Salman notes the cross-border attacks by neighboring Yemen's Houthi rebels have put to question, quote, our ability to supply the world with the necessary energy requirements. Oil prices already at their highest in years have shot up further amid attacks from the Houthis on Saudi Arabia, OPEC's largest oil producer.
That's correspondent Jeremy House. Queen Elizabeth walked into Westminster Abbey through a side door today, making good on her wish to attend a service of thanksgiving for her late husband, Prince Philip. The monarch entered the church on the arm of her son, Prince Andrew, then separated from him to walk to her seat alone. News and analysis, townhall.com. Actor Will Smith publicly apologizing for slapping comedian Chris Rock on stage at the Oscars.
Oh, wow! It's a day late, and we'll leave it up to others to decide whether it's $1 short, but Will Smith has added Chris Rock to the list of people that he's apologizing to. The Best Actor winner at the Oscars says he was, quote, out of line to march up to the stage and lay a hand on Rock as he was presenting an award. Those who parse public apologies will note that this one does tie in Chris Rock, something Smith did not do during his emotional, rambling acceptance speech. At the same time, Smith repeated his stated justification for the slap, that Rock had made fun of his wife Jada Pinkett Smith and a medical condition that prompted her to shave her head. I'm Oscar Wells Gabriel.
Looking for a higher open on Wall Street later this hour. Dow futures up 268 points and the S&P futures ahead 39. More on these stories. Townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. The DJ, the demolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A second day of the rest of your life.
Tuesday's blowing in.
Mm-hmm. It was hot this morning. Like, not hot, but it was like warm this morning.
Current temp is warm for a morning for us.
It's like 60 when I walked out, I think.
58 officially is what the current temps are here in Roswell.
What is going on? Spring.
Yeah.
It's just this year, and maybe this happens more often than I recognize, but this year it feels like the ushering of spring has it's been instantaneous, which leads me to believe that summer is going to suck.
Think it'll be a barn burner?
Oh, it's going to be so hot.
Could be. I don't know.
It's gonna hit us in the face like Will Smith at the Oscars.
Which he apologized for.
Yes,
so it's
yes,
all
he
good
did.
now.
He has apologized officially for telling Chris Rock what the five fingers said to the face. Slap!
Oh man, I kind of wish I've heard from Chris Rock by now publicly. Like, we really haven't. All we've heard is, Will Smith apologize and everyone else's theories and everything.
He's kind of just milking it like he's understandably staying low until things calm down a bit.
Well, I mean, he's depending on who you talk to, he's the victim here, depending on your point of view.
Sure. Sure.
So I don't know. I just I'm just surprised. I haven't heard a public statement from him yet.
I laughed literally out loud when I stumbled across an article that the headline was, Oscars rebound from historic lows. I'm like, well, yeah. Everybody was like, dude, turn on the Oscars. Sean, it's funny. That's funny. That's awesome.
You think the Oscars are kind of, like...
Oh, they jumped the shark. Here, okay, so...
Oh, yeah, that I
in
think
2020, and I only know this because I watched a story about this. In 2020... they had the lowest, it was the lowest ratings ever, and that was 16 million.
Yeah.
And then it dropped down to 9 million in 2021.
Okay.
It was 15 million this year. Weirdly, the numbers blew up after the slap. I don't know why.
Well, it's because they want to see what happened next.
Exactly. Everybody was
they were like, is Will Smith going to get arrested? Is Chris Rock going to come back out? Is Will Smith going to win an award and say something? What's going to happen?
Yeah,
here?
it was must see TV at that point.
Yeah.
We haven't had that in a long time here.
Well, and I would there's several reasons. I mean, part of it is what people think. Mm-hmm. People don't want to be preached at or listen to the thoughts and opinions of Hollywood per se. People get a little tired of that.
Right.
Telling them they pontificate from their ivory towers and tell us what we're doing wrong in the world and all of that. And then you got clown shoes like Sean Penn threatening to smelt his Oscars if you don't let Zelensky on the program. I wish that would have happened. I don't remember him on there. Sean Penn, I would like to see a TikTok or YouTube video of you melting your Oscars, please.
Are Oscars even smeltable? Because I thought that they're plated.
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure it's gold plated.
I don't know. He said he's going to smelt them. I was like, okay.
Smelt them.
Smelt
Make
away.
it happen. Yeah.
So who smelt it, dealt it.
Make yourself a nice ringlet.
Yeah. So, by the way, that was one of those things I saw online, and I was like, are you kidding me? And then Chris Rock got slapped, and no one cared about that anymore.
What he needs to do, smelt all your Oscars, Sean Penn, make yourself a Thanos gauntlet, right? And then just acquire some jewels. Then you'll be inevitable. It will be inevitable.
And then show up to the Oscars with like 50 pizzas.
And then just snap, and half of the audience will just disappear.
You don't think Sean Penn would do that? Give me El Chapo.
If anybody would, Sean Penn would, actually. Yeah.
But
my bat crap crazy butts in Ukraine right now.
Yeah. But I think, so some of that and all the wokeness and all this other nonsense and, all of that, people don't want to listen to that. They want to escape and they want to see their movies and they want to, see if their favorite. That's all. Now that you have to come and listen to all these celebrities pontificate about their causes and what have you that no one wants to listen to.
Yeah.
I think that's part of it. And then part of it, too, is the same
Violence
problem.
works, dude. That's what it is. Violence works.
And then the part of the problem, too, is network television's got the same problem with all of its shows as it does with the Oscars, is you now have competition for 57,000 other sources instead of 3.
Right.
And
well, in the age of the internet, everybody's just going to log on the next day and see who won.
Exactly. I didn't watch the Oscars, but I didn't miss a moment, apparently.
Exactly. I have not watched. I did not turn the Oscars on not one time. They didn't get a single Nielsen view from the Smalls household. But I've seen pretty much everything. I saw Amy Schumer in a Spider-Man costume. I've seen.
Oh, she was in a Spider-Man costume?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It was pretty painful before the slap.
See, I saw none of the stuff that I saw none of their comedy, none of their.
That was the other moment that was sort of viral. Oh, and there was one that was a film it was like a fan vote thing, and because of that, this like super low budget made for TV live action retelling of Cinderella. Got won the Oscar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Basically, it was the Bodie McBoatface of the Oscars.
Well, I know the Coda thing. Does that?
Yeah, that was, which I'm actually curious. I kind of want to check that out.
That's the Prime.
Children of Deaf Adults is what it stands for. And I'm really curious to check it out. It looks like a really interesting movie.
Yeah, I seen the commercials for it a while ago, and I was like, oh, it might be interesting, and then I forgot about it. And then it got, I guess, Oscar buzz.
Speaking of Prime shows or Prime series, I stumbled on this. Actually, my friend recommended it to me, and it is one of the best series. I don't think I've ever recommended it here. It's just called As We See It, is what it's called. As We See It, and it's a series that follows a fictional series that follows, like, based on true events or whatever, that follows 3 20-somethings who are all on the spectrum, who are living in this house, that all of their parents are basically renting so they can gain independence and life skills and stuff.
Okay.
But it's from the perspective of, these people who are trying to learn independence and life skills who are on the spectrum, but also from the perspective of like the caretakers and like how much anxiety and stress that they're under and trying to like live a real. It's just a really, really good telling of what it's like from that perspective. Okay. Like I really dig it. It's called As We See It, and it's on Amazon Prime.
So is it a documentary?
No, it's like a series.
Okay.
It's like a I don't know what you want to call it, like a drama series.
But is it actors or are these real people?
These are actors, but every single person who's on the spectrum in the show
is actually on the spectrum.
Actually on the spectrum, yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if it was a scripted show or it was like a reality thing where they're just following these people trying to navigate life, or what are they doing?
I really like fictional shows that I can get so immersed in that I completely forget that I'm watching a fictional show, and that's kind of how this is. You just feel like you're watching a story.
All right, cool.
It's really good.
It's called
As We See It.
As We See It.
I binged the whole series in one evening.
Okay.
It's really good.
There's a checkout for folks out there. And so, I should probably do the rundown.
Yep.
I just happened to look at the time here. We're going to replay some interviews for you this morning. Peggy Boland joined us yesterday talking camp invention. And Thursday, I'm a day ahead of myself. Thursday is last day to take advantage of a discount code and things for that. So we're going to play that interview for you here in just a bit. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, we're going to have Amy McVeigh-Tejas join us with the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico. We're going to talk scholarships with her, and I believe we're going to have one of last year's past scholarship recipients check in on the phone with us during that, give us an update on what they're up to as well. I believe it's going to be Kyra Gordon will be calling in, and then we're going to talk with her and talk scholarships with Amy and all of that here in the 8 o'clock hour. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, today is Vietnam Veterans Day, in case you have not heard yet. Last week we had, on Friday, we had the gentleman from American Legion Post 28 join us. They are having at 10 o'clock this morning a Vietnam Veterans Day ceremony out at the POW MIA site there over by DeBrenham. And so we're going to play the interview for you in the 9 o'clock hour, actually leading up to the ceremony here. And so hopefully folks will listen and learn more about it, and then going on out to the ceremony at 10 o'clock here today. So we're going to play that for you about 9:15 or so. So we're talking, it was a great interview we had with folks from there talking Vietnam veterans and talk about Post 28 and some of the things they've got going on there too. So I think there is a little bit where we talk about a meeting we had on Saturday in there, but don't worry about that part. We want you to focus in on the Vietnam Veterans Day celebration. All right, it is 7:16. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore with your Pecos Valley weather. Very strong winds developing across our area, folks. We're looking at that increasing southwesterly wind, especially for the afternoon time. We're talking gusts anywhere from 50 to 60 miles per hour. Blowing dust and low visibility in the forecast for the afternoon, and also critical fire weather conditions. Today's high area-wide for the mid to upper 70s, dropping off to the mid-40s for tonight with still some strong winds early on. That's your latest forecast. I'm Jennifer Naramore.
Thank you, Jennifer. Currently, it's going to be doing that to me today. Okay, sorry, I refreshed my weather, and it gave me an error code. There it goes. That's more like it. Currently 55 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 24% with winds out of the southwest at 7 miles per hour. Going to be windy today, hence the reason they've issued a red flag warning for today. That's going to kick in at 10 a.m. and remain in effect through 9 p.m. this evening. High wind warning will kick in at 11 o'clock this morning, remain in effect through 7 p.m. this evening. We are looking at areas of blowing dust this afternoon, mainly after 3 today. Will be sunny. Highs near 76 today, so still warm, but not quite as warm as our 90 we were dealing with earlier in the week here. But winds will be up as well out of the southwest, 15 to 25 this morning, increasing 30 to 40. Could see wind gusts as high as 55 miles per hour today. So it's going to be windy, batten down the hatches. Tonight, more blowing dust before 9 p.m., partly cloudy, overnight low of 47. Winds will be up out of the west, 30 to 35, gusting as high as 45 miles per hour, decreasing some 20 to 25 after midnight, but it's going to be windy tonight. Wednesday, we're looking at some rain chances tomorrow. 30% chance of rain, mainly for the afternoon, although there is a slight AM shower chance, but mainly for the afternoon. Mostly sunny. High of only 68 tomorrow with north winds 15 to 20. Gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. They will decrease mid-morning down 10 to 15. So actually the windy part of the day will be the early part. It'll die down some as the day progresses. 20% chance of rain for Wednesday night, partly cloudy with an overnight low of 39. West winds 15 to 20, gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. They'll drop down 10 to 15 after midnight. Thursday, mostly sunny, highs around 70, 69 officially with northwest winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Mostly sunny on Friday, highs of around 79 degrees. And then your weekend, sunny and 79 for Saturday, sunny and 86 on Sunday. So, little wind, maybe some rain tomorrow. We'll see how that shapes up. All right, it is 7:19. We're going to take a 3.5-minute commercial break. We'll have your Roswell Livestock Report recap with Smiley Wooten. We'll take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to play our interview we had yesterday with Peggy Boland talking Camp Invention. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. 1,037 head of cattle sold on Monday on an uneven market with excellent buyer attendance. Compared to last week, stocker calves sold 2 to 4 higher, feeder cattle steady to 2 lower, packer cows and bulls steady to $2 higher. 3 to 40 pound steers, 210, 215, 3 to 40 pound heifers, 173, 189, 4 to 500 pound steers, 202, 210, 4 to 500 pound heifers, 162, 173, 5 to 600 pound steers, 166, 202, 5 to 600 pound heifers, 155, 162, 6 700 pound steers, 157, 166, 6 to 700 pound heifers, 137 to 155, 7 800 pound steers, 137, 157, 7 800 pound heifers, 128, 137, packer cows 88 to 98, canner and cutter cows 70 to 80, packer bulls $1 to 108, feeder bulls 80 to 90. Top half the cow-calf pair is $1,100 to $1,410 per pair, and the top half the bred cows $1,000 to $1,225. per head. We do appreciate the business, and we'll talk to you next Monday morning. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
They're back! The Yucca Blossom Trade Show is back and even bigger and better for spring. Saturday and Sunday, April 2nd and 3rd. It's the Yucca Blossom Spring Into Action Trade Show at the Eddy County Fairgrounds in Artesia. Even bigger than ever, with over 100 vendors across 3 buildings at the fairgrounds. And there's lots of activities for the entire family, including the Runyon Ranch Petting Zoo, MJWZ barrel cars, a cornhole tournament, face painting, kids get your picture taken with the Easter Bunny, and so much more. Plus, the food. Some of the best and most popular food trucks will be on hand so you can spend the entire day. Enter to win the raffle with a drawing live on 92.9 The Brand Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m., 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. Saturday, April 2nd, and 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Sunday, April 3rd at the Eddy County Fairgrounds in Artesia. The Yucca Blossom Spring Into Action Trade Show. Don't miss it. Find Yucca Blossom Trade Days on Facebook to see some of the amazing one-of-a-kind items available to you during the Yucca Blossom Spring Into Action Trade Show, April 2nd and 3rd. This invitation paid for by Holly Frontier, Navajo Refining Company, a proud member of our community.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. The education assistance I received made it possible for me to be the first person in my family to go to school and graduate debt-free. That education helped get me to the first day at my dream job, a job that I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job, plus the other benefits possible from the Army National Guard, helped me become a first-time homeowner. Also, part of my role as a National Guard soldier means I know that I can be one of the first to respond and help my community if disaster ever strikes. I'm extremely proud that I get to serve my community, and that first step I took by joining the Army National Guard has made all the difference in my life. Talk to your local recruiter or visit nationalguard.com to find out what firsts are available to you in the Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard, aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The U.S. Treasury once considered producing donut-shaped coins. They instead decided to go with coin-shaped donuts. Here's Mike Winters.
Good morning. It is 18 minutes after 8 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning, wearing her Camp Invention hat today, Peggy Bolin back with us. And shirt. And the hat is metaphorical. The shirt is actual. So.
Right.
Good morning. Happy Monday.
Good morning. Thank you.
How are you doing today?
I'm awake.
That's a start. That's always a good start here.
You know, I had my muffin, so there you go.
And at least it's warm out. For
there
this
you go.
morning, so all is good at the moment. Anyway, here for folks, for folks who are not familiar with this, Camp Invention is a great week-long day camp for elementary mostly, but there's an opportunity for middle school through their leaders in training program too, but predominantly for elementary age kids. And it's a week-long fun day camp where they do fun STEM-related projects. And it's all age appropriate. So the young, and there's set projects, and we'll talk all about this, that they work on each week. But like the younger
each day, not each week.
Each day, I'm sorry. But your younger first, second graders will work at a certain level. Your fifth graders will be a little bit more advanced and so forth. But it's a fun camp where the kids are learning all this science, math, engineering, and everything like that. But it's really disguised in these fun projects that each of the kids get to make, work on, and take home as part of it. So they don't walk away empty-handed. They're going to have 4 cool projects that they work on and develop throughout the week there that they get to take home as souvenirs or keepsakes for the event. So
right.
It's really a fun week, and I know you have every year kids that probably started at like first grade and they come back at second, third, and because they come back each year because they love it. And each year it's different. So if you participated in years past, each year is a different project, different, same idea, but different cool stuff to do each year. So
right.
So if your kid participated last year or a couple years ago, and they're still in the window, come on out and sign up. Or maybe they were in 4th grade and, now they're in 6th, and they maybe make them an LIT. Maybe they can sign up to be an LIT, which is they get to experience the camp, but they serve as kind of like counselors in training, leaders in training, where in essence they learn and participate in the camp. At the same time, they're the ones helping the camp counselors navigate through the projects and kind of wrangle and keeping everybody on task kind of stuff.
That's right.
Yeah.
And really nobody ages out because I have the elementary, then the middle school, then I need the high school and college kids who are volunteers.
Yeah.
So any kid until they're, I mean, I have one gal who's come back numerous years.
Sure.
And she's wonderful, and I'm so excited she's coming back again this year.
Good. Yeah. So if you're interested in volunteering, I'm assuming there's still openings
For the high school and college kids,
for high
yes.
school and college volunteers as
Yes,
well too.
there are.
Reach out to Peggy probably directly, which we'll give you all that information here in a little bit. But it really is a fun week-long camp. This year it's going to be at First United Methodist Church, and the dates running are June 6th through the 10th. And the camp basically runs daily during that time period from 9 to 3:30.
Correct.
However, if that's not enough time for you, maybe you work different hours and it's hard for you to drop your child off at 9 o'clock in the morning, there is, for an additional fee, an extended program that runs, and it's an additional charge on that. It'll run from 7:30 to 5:30.
Correct.
So in essence, you can drop your child off as early as 7:30 and pick them up as late as 5:30. Like I said, there is an additional fee for that. And by the way, those are structured times too. So it's not like you just drop them off and they sit till the camp starts at 9. They do structured things from that 7:30 to 9 time slot, and from 3:30 to 5:30
Right.
afterwards
Right.
too. So it's not just like babysitting or something. It's
Right.
just more
Correct.
camp. There's more camp
Yes,
for those.
there's more activities.
Yeah, exactly. However, now the cost for the camp for the entire camp is where it is?
$255.
$255.
It went up a little bit from last year.
Well, everything went up
Everything,
in
yes.
COVID. I'm surprised that's all it went up, to be honest. But if and I want families and parents to check out the Camp Invention website. Invent.org is the website to go there. But if you can also go and register for the camp there. If you go to event.org/camp, and then there's a thing, it says find a camp near you. You type in Roswell, New Mexico. It pops right up to the page where you can sign up, register,
Yes.
learn about what's going on. And also, when you do sign up through the website, there's a spot where you can enter in an offer code and get a discount. If you enter that code in before the end of this month, before March 31st, which is what?
It expires March 31st.
Which is Thursday, I think? Wednesday or Thursday?
Thursday.
Whatever day that is. Thursday. Yeah, that's my colonoscopy day. But,
hey, excitement.
but on Thursday here, if you enter Explore 25 in that code, they're going to knock $25 off of that price there.
Right.
Now, they are going to offer a discount code after that, but it's an only $15 one. So if you want to save that, save the extra $10, make sure you submit Explore 25 before March 31st. If you're not able to commit by then, if you enter Explore 15 in that code by March 8 or May 18th, you will save an additional $15 off instead of. So if you do it after the 31st, but before May 18th and enter code 15, you'll save $15. But until Thursday, you can enter and save that $25.
Right, and I wouldn't wait too long for this camp.
It is
Not
limited.
this year.
There's so many slots available, and when it's full, it's full. They can't
Right.
make the camp any bigger. And because of the world we in, we got a feeling this one's going to fill up probably sooner
Yes.
rather than later this
I
year.
believe it's going to.
Demand is pretty high here, so sign up now, because if you wait till later in May or June, you may unfortunately wait yourself out of the opportunity to do this. So, which we wouldn't want. We want to make sure every
Right.
kid that wants to do this gets an opportunity to. So, there is another opportunity, thanks to generous donations and sponsors and stuff. If you're thinking, ooh, even if it's $225, that's still a little rich for my blood here. There are partial scholarships available for larger amounts than $25. However, if you are in need of that, we do not want you to register online. We want you to register directly through Peggy here. That way, because Peggy's handling locally all of the local scholarships and things.
Yes.
So if you need financial aid, that is more than the $25, we need to talk with her direct. That way she can talk to you and see what we can do to help you out there.
Right. And we're constantly trying to get more donations as well.
Yeah.
I've got a good friend of mine, Margaret Rodriguez. I don't know if you know her, but she's phenomenal.
Awesome.
Yeah, she helps me gather scholarships as well. So between us, we get some good donations.
Okay.
And so, I'm really hoping that people reach out to me and say, hey, I need a little help, need more help than $25 off. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're listening here and you're thinking, man, I love what Camp Invention's about. I love what they're teaching. I love especially since kids are playing catch up in school because of COVID the last 2 years, any extracurricular opportunities we can expose them to this kind of stuff in a fun way like this. That's a good thing. And would love to embrace and endorse that. You can do so by making donations, whatever you can afford, $100, $500, $1,000, $20, whatever it is you can afford. We would love to. All of that will go, and if it doesn't get used this year, it gets used in future years because Peggy has not
thrown in the towel yet.
Thrown in the towel and said she's not stopping doing this anytime soon. So if the money doesn't become awarded this year, they'll roll it over and award it to parents as needed next year. So so please sign up. And then, like I said, if you're a parent that needs help, Peggy will not do a full scholarship. She wants you to at least have some skin in the game and some investment into this program. So she's going to ask you to pay something, but they can help out pretty immensely if the need is there. So please reach out to Peggy. She's got some great people working the phones and getting donations and doing this. And we don't. If there is a child in Roswell, Chaves County that wants to participate in Camp Invention, the $250 should not be the hurdle. You know what I'm saying? That we can figure out. We'll the rest will make happen. But we need your desire and your interest. So please reach out to this. And I'm telling you, don't wait. Get it done now.
We've also had grandparents who have kids visit from Texas or wherever.
For their 2 weeks or whatever.
For their week or two with grandma in Roswell, and the grandma signs them up for camp.
Mm-hmm.
And it's great because then we have more, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Texas. I'm from Florida or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm visiting grandma.
And if you've got family that lives in other parts of the country, tell them to look and see if there's a Camp Invention in their neck of the woods. This is a national camp. This isn't just, they've got this camp in cities and municipalities and counties all over the country here. Like I said, when you go to invent.org and you can learn more about it. This is a program put together by the Inventors Hall of Fame. And so, and obviously this is a group of people that wants to groom the next generation of inventors and science, and so this is right in their wheelhouse. So they're basically using this to in essence, make STEM more popular in this country, but grooming for the next generation of people that are going to make the next products and things that we can't live without, or the way we do things now will be different in the future, and it's going to be because somebody has a big brain and they're studying this kind of stuff. And so these kids, when they're learning about, and we're going to talk about I'm going to let Peggy kind of tell you about the projects here in a minute, but when we're talking about these robotic fish and things like that, they're just thinking it's fun and cool, and at the end of the day, they're learning the principles of how fish swim, a little bit
biology,
of mechanics,
physics,
the biology,
chemistry.
it's all of that translates to getting that bug bitten about being into science and math and seeing the cool that's behind it and what you can, it may not be sexy and exciting talking formulas and principles and all that, but when you learn these, you can make this or make the thing that we haven't thought about yet. That's where it gets exciting. So please talk about So, Peggy, talk about like I said, they do 4 different, modules. Is that
right? They're called modules.
Modules, which are in essence projects that they work on throughout the week here. Let's talk about what's on tap for this year's modules.
Okay, so the first one is called Robotic Aquatics.
Okay.
Campers create a habitat for a robotic fish, complete with a symbiotic friend, and then take their fish home in its mini tank. And I brought the fish with me.
Okay.
So the viewers can see here's the mini tank.
And for folks, when it's a robotic fish, the tail moves, and so when it's put in that water, when it's all up and running, that little robotic fish will swim around in your tank there and the kids get to kind of check it out and understand how that's happening, why it's happening, and learning a little bit about fish anatomy and why that they move that way and so forth. So.
And it does swim in water.
Yeah,
so there's water, there's going to be water in this.
Nothing in it for purposes, but we got a lot of electronics. We don't want to put water around here.
Right. I just thought the fish were so cute because they're different colors.
Yeah. So you can kind of collect them, and then, of course, if you have siblings, they got different color fish. And
Winters.
Some people are like, really? That's fascinating. Yeah.
And I'm visiting Grandma.
And if you've got family that live
robotic aquatics,
okay,
campers create a happy
for the sake of yourself, don't put them together.
So, I make sure that, if the parents do make requests, I try to, unless it's like I want my kindergartner with a second grader.
Sure.
That's different because
we want to get them,
put them in age-appropriate groups.
Yeah, we don't want the kid that's in the younger to be lost because the curriculum's a little above their head.
Or vice versa.
Or below. Yeah,
you don't want the second grader in with the kindergartner if it's not appropriate.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So
that's why I'm very, I really spend a lot of time just putting the groups together.
Sure.
To make sure they click.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's also for your own counselors and volunteers. You want to make sure that they can focus as much on the project and not being disciplinarians or wrangling kids the whole time. They want to spend more time working on the projects and having all the camp fun that's part of camp. And not working on stop touching this one, all the stuff kids do.
Right. And the camp is only for 1 week. So it's not like school, whereas, there's IEPs and things. This is 1 week.
It's fun. It's learning. They get to, it's really them like playing for a week. It really is. But they get to learn all this stuff that they take, because the idea is they're going to come and that day they're making these fish tanks and doing all this. They're going to come home that night and say, Mom, we did this, or Dad, we did this, and we talked all about this, and next thing you know, you're hoping they're kind of controlling the conversation at the table, just talking about all the cool stuff they learned, and hopefully you as parents are kind of asking questions, say, well, what'd you talk about? What'd you do?
Right.
And did you know, or I remember when I was a kid, we did this, and it was kind of like that, and expanding upon it and engaging with your kids in these conversations about it. And I think you're gonna see the fruit of the rewards of this camp real quick.
Definitely.
So.
And the kids love to come back. It's like a little girl came up to me the other day. Oh, my mom already signed me up for camp.
Good.
I had so much fun. I still have my microphone from last year.
Nice. And I imagine that's your biggest advertisement is these kids that have done it in the past.
Oh, yes.
And
they talk it up to their friends.
Speaking glowing reviews. Yeah. So talk to the kids and get them signed up. I guarantee they're going to love it. It's great because with this camp too, it's they get the social interaction. They get all the things that may be missing here. They get snacks. Like your kids in good hands for the day here during that week.
This year I want to reiterate something. We are not going to be providing lunches.
Okay.
So the parents are going to have to provide their lunches for the kids.
You'll have the snacks and things.
We'll have the snacks.
But it's full on lunch. Full on lunch. Parents are.
They're going to bring their own.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Very good. But if you please sign them up. Go to invent.org and read more about the camps here and learn more about it. So I interrupted you. We started talking about the first module.
I know. And I've got 3 more
Let's
to go.
go to the next module here.
All right. So the next one is called Spacecation. Inspired by real space exploration, campers construct space packs and astro-armed devices, mine asteroids, and observe ice volcanoes.
Cool.
So that's really cool.
Yeah.
And I saw what the volcano looks like, and the solution they put in there actually glows.
Oh, cool.
So it's really neat.
Nice.
It's really fun. And then another one is called NIHF's The Attic. So National Inventors Hall of Fame, because we're partnered with National Inventors Hall of Fame.
Yeah, this is Camp
Invention is a non-profit nationwide camp, and in Puerto Rico as well.
Yeah.
And that one combines science and art. So you might have heard, I'm sure you all have heard of STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math. But STEAM is kind of the new, it's been around a few years, where they add art in there. The A stands for art. So they're putting STEAM in this one. Combining science and art to build their own robotic artists. Campers make spin art and learn that everyone can be creative.
Cool.
So that's really cool.
Yeah.
And then the last one is Marble Arcade. A lot of physics in this one. Campers get their game on as they experiment with the fun of physics and engineering to build their own mega marble arcades.
Nice.
So it's really, I mean, we have base camp in the morning, base camp in the afternoon. We have lunch in the middle of the day, where half the campers are outside with organized games that the assistant director runs. And then they have their lunch. Like I said, they're going to have to bring their own lunch this year. We've made an executive decision as a staff.
Gotcha.
Because of there were some issues last year.
Gotcha.
We weren't able to get the free lunch every single day from the district. And it was like, it became...
It wasn't consistent.
It wasn't consistent. So
sense.
This will make it consistent every year.
Makes sense. Yeah, I gotcha. That way parents are all on the same page, know what they need to do. And,
right.
When nothing gets missed out. That makes sense. But something I also want to reiterate here is these kids, like you said, these kids are going to be physical. They're going to be moving around. Like you said, they're going to be doing these projects, but they get outside. They're going to be running around. So there's a little bit of everything here. They get physical activity. They get that social interaction.
Yes.
They get the STEM and STEAM. Hands-on lessons and education there. And then and I think the social is just as important as the physical right now. Especially with some of these younger kids who've had less time in the classroom in a traditional classroom setting. This kind of reinforces those lessons and those things that they have to learn. Being in group settings, how to work with other kids, how to share, and when to give and take, and when to be the leader, and when to kind of stand back and let others talk. And that's all skill sets they kind of get exposed to and learn about as part of Camp Invention. When they're not doing cool stuff like making these fish tanks or making the marble arcade or any of these kind of things, they're learning how to be friends with other kids and talk with them and sharing and all the things that you have to teach kids how to do in those environments, because those are all taught things. Kids aren't instincts aren't always to share, and you have to say no, you gotta let everybody have a chance. And those are the lessons they learn in camp like this, on top of the fun educational stuff too.
Right.
So again, we have these deadlines for camp cost and everything else. The total cost of the camp is $255. That's before the discounts. If you go to invent.org/camp, enter in Roswell, and then you'll find the event page. Fill out the application there. Don't forget, in the offer code, enter Explore25. If you do that before Thursday's over here, March 31st, you'll save $25 off that $255. They will offer an Explore 15 after that date until May the 18th. But save the extra $10 by getting it signed up and turned in here before Thursday. If you don't feel like doing it on the internet, you can also call. There's an 800 number, national number here, 800-968-4332 if you'd rather do it that way. Now, if you need the aid of one of the partial scholarships, we ask that you don't go to invent.org to register. You can go there to read and learn and everything, but when it's time to sign your child up, don't sign up through the website. Call Peggy Boland direct here, and I'll give you that number right now, 575-420-9955. Again, that's 575-420-9955. Leave a voicemail if you don't get Peggy directly. If you call right now.
Because I've been busy.
She's not going to answer the phone. but and say, hey, I heard about I'd like to take advantage of a partial scholarship. And can you please call me back? And then Peggy will call you back and talk to you, and we'll make those arrangements and walk you through that whole process.
Right, and I'm excited because we have like $100 scholarships off, as an example.
Yeah,
which is really nice. And
absolutely.
I work with the parents. I'm not saying that's the only scholarship available, but that's an example.
Yeah,
$100 off. Yeah, which is significant. I mean, that's. But if people need more or less, I can work with everybody.
Sure.
I try to work with everybody.
You want to just make it so that every child that wants to participate in Camp Invention has that opportunity. Money is not the hurdle here. What is the hurdle is time. Time is of the essence.
Yes, it is.
Because there is a finite number of positions available, and once they've hit that threshold, they cannot accept any more. They'd love to, but resources, materials, space, all of those things will not allow that. So,
that's true.
So please reach out before the sooner the later. Get it done this week. Like I said, if you want to save that $25, get it signed up through invent.org before this Thursday. And of course, if you don't need any of that, then pay full price. It all goes to the camp and to the programs and to the event. So really, you're helping a nonprofit by paying full price too. So if you can afford it, and don't mind paying, you are helping a nonprofit here and helping continue this education and things like that. So, but if you do need help, reach out. Those are many different venues and things like that to take advantage of. And
right.
I'd hope it would be really cool if your kid all of a sudden one day becomes Passion X because they were hanging out at Camp Invention working on one of these projects, and next thing you know, that child in the future is working for NASA or working at who knows, working for Elon Musk doing something
That's
there,
right.
you know?
Exactly.
Or is the next Elon Musk, for that matter.
That's right. Wouldn't that be cool? But one thing we didn't mention is who can go.
Yes.
It's children entering kindergarten to entering 6th grade.
Gotcha.
Those are the campers. The leadership and the leaders in training are those entering 7th grade,
Gotcha.
entering 9th.
So when you start school in August here, if you're entering kindergarten or entering
or entering 6th grade.
6th grade or 9th, these are those milestones we're talking about.
Right.
Here. So not if not if you completed kindergarten, yes, you're eligible still. But even if a kid is going to be in kindergarten
in kindergarten this
have
fall.
not officially entered school yet, no problem. You're still eligible.
Yes.
So reach out. And again, it's age appropriate. So your 5th graders are going to be working on these same projects, but it'll be presented at a 5th grade level versus the kids that are in kindergarten or 1st grade. They're going to get a much more easily understandable version of that. That's, break it down. So the science gets a little less complex for the younger kids. And so it's age appropriate. But as they get older, they can get a little bit more into the physics and some of the science behind it a little deeper as they understand. But the more you're exposing to them now, the more they're getting that. And who knows, at the kindergarten level, they may get their beak wet for this thing, and they start doing their own research. And next thing you know, they're on their own doing it, and learning more about it than probably about something.
Yes, exactly. Some kids get really fixated on something, and man.
Yeah, and then they just do the deep dive research and dig about it, and it's like, I know.
They go to the library and learn everything about it they can.
Yeah.
Check out every book there is under that subject.
And the world really is at our fingertips right now, so it makes it easier than ever to do it. It's a blessing and a curse sometimes and stuff. But
agreed.
But in this case, it's a blessing because hopefully at the end of the day, the whole point of this camp is to excite these kids about the opportunities in STEM and STEAM, and really allowing them to see, all the stuff you learn in school, that there's a reason for it. There's a method. There's a reason why we're showing you this and this, and this is why. This is why we're doing it, because you learn this stuff. You're the person that's pushing the envelope for the next big thing.
Right.
Maybe, but when you're an adult, we're talking about putting people, colonies on Mars instead of just sending robots and things like that. Maybe you're that part of that generation that's talking that, or maybe you're the one that you're part of the generation that talks about the moon and settling on the moon, or maybe you're the one that talks about underwater life and sitting and studying with like a man-made Atlantis in the middle of the Atlantic or Pacific Ocean while they're studying everything down there. Maybe you're part of that, and that's what this is all about. Or maybe you're the guy that creates the next computer thing that we all live in our lives that we can't stay, we haven't thought of it yet. Phone, or maybe it's some chip in our brain that's a phone now or something. I don't know. Whatever that thing is.
I don't want anything put in my brain.
Yeah, me either. But I'm just saying, that you could be that person that's in the whatever's next for us.
In the know.
Yeah, in the technology or in the science. And or who knows, maybe you're the one that finally we get to the point where we can I don't know, clone people or something. I have no idea. Whatever science takes us next, that's what this is, and that's what's fun, is just showing them this stuff, and they get to just really have fun and meet these kids and talk with them and make friends too. That's the other side. They might make a friend or two that they turns out to be lifelong friends, and
right.
And kids, especially like kindergarten, maybe make friends there at the camp, and it turns out they're in the same class in school when they show up in the fall.
That's
there.
true.
That'd be kind of cool, you know. But that's the kind of stuff that could come from this. So, what else? Is there things that you want to make sure that we tell them that I just got sidetracked or didn't get a chance to talk about?
Well, I really encourage people to give me a call for the partial scholarships, and if you want to donate to Camp Invention,
Yeah,
you
that's
can
the
give
other
me
thing
a call.
too. We're always looking for more money, more
Right.
donations to because, like I said, every single penny you donate will go to help a kid go to camp, whether it's this year, next year, or 2 years from now. The more money you donate, it all will go help a kid attend Camp Invention.
Right, and it's an amazing camp. I wouldn't be doing it. My kids are grown now. I brought it to Roswell for my kids.
Gotcha. And
I wouldn't be doing it still if, I didn't think it was valuable.
Sure.
And I
would
love the
imagine-
kids who are so excited about camp. They come every day and they're so excited.
How many years now have you been doing Camp Invention here?
About
Miles?
15.
About 15 years.
Mhm.
I'm guessing I'll be almost guarantee some of those first couple of kids from those first couple of years of camp, there's some of them right now probably having, going to school, going and pursuing careers that they probably got that fire lit going to Camp Invention. There's probably some of those kids now that are maybe engineers or working for some of these
Right.
companies, and they got the bug in Camp Invention.
Right, because I did it for a few years, then I stopped for a while, and then I brought it back.
Took a little hiatus.
And so those kids who are in the beginnings, in the very first camps, like my son, who's an engineer right now,
There you go.
and he's very happy in Nashville.
And he got the bug from hanging out at Camp Invention.
Well, or hanging out with his mother.
Yeah, some of that probably
Father
rubbed
are
off
both
that way
geeks.
too. But again, for folks to read up on everything, log on to invent.org. But the camp will take place June 6th through June 10th at First United Methodist Church there at Pennsylvania, 200 North Pennsylvania. Camp time is 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Cost is $255. There is an extended hours camp available from 7:30 to 5:30 for an additional $80. That'll cover that. If you have any questions about anything we talked about, or you want to learn more about the partial scholarship or anything else, reach out to Peggy Bolin. You can call her 575-420-9955. Again, 575-420-9955, or email pbolin2016@gmail.com. That's P as in Peggy.
Yeah.
Bolin, BOHLIN 2016@gmail.com.
And the camp is June 6th through the 10th, the first full week in June.
Yes.
I always try to do it right then.
Yes.
So the parents know. Oh, okay, I'm going to block this week off because Camp Invention's going to happen.
That way you've got their vacations planned or
Right.
whatever things
Right.
you got going on. You can earmark that time as Camp Invention.
Right, and I told my son he better not get married the first week in June.
Yeah, we're going to have to delay that wedding.
That's right.
Or push it up before, one or the other.
That's right.
But and again, it's for children entering kindergarten through 6th grade for the actual camp. If they want to be a part of the LIT program, that's for kids entering 7th through 9th grade.
Right, and it's $100 off.
Yeah, that's
so
$100.
it'd be $155 this year.
But like I said, you get to work as basically like a camp counselor. You kind of help.
Right, you're getting mentored.
Yeah.
They're getting mentored by the
But at the same time,
teachers.
you still get to have fun and learn the science and get to participate in the activities and things too. So you get to dab a toe in both worlds there a little bit.
Right, and I did want to mention the ratio as in the groups is about 20 to 1. I mean 20, about 20 kids.
20 kids.
20 to 1. 20 kids, yes.
Very good. So they work in groups about 20.
Or
and then-
less.
Or less. And
I
then,
try
of
to
course,
make them, like the youngest kids, the kindergartners. I try to make that, hopefully that's the smallest group.
Yes.
Because they need the most attention.
They do, because they're the ones that are going to, have the most. Well, they're still developing motor skills and
Right.
all the skills where a child that's in 5th or 6th grade, they're going to be a little bit more developed on those things. And so that's more on the learning, where a kid in kindergarten or whatever, they're not only they still absorbing things, but, working with their hands and developing those skills and things. They're still working on that, developing those skills and things like that. So this is great for all that. So, but you're right.
Yes.
It does require more hands-on.
And
more
I
hands-on
yes.
and a little bit more hand-holding to navigate them through each step of the process.
Right, and I have volunteers who help as well. I mean, there's a lot of people involved.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of.
It is.
Again, go to invent.org. Read up more about it. If you know campers of the past, talk to them. Get their inputs. I'm sure they'd love to tell you all the fun things they did. And once you hear that, that'll probably seal the deal for you on making the decision to sign up. Because I don't think there's any kid that's gone through that did not love the camp and take away some really cool stuff from that camp.
Oh, yes.
And months afterwards, they're still talking to their friends about what they did at camp and bringing it to show and tell when they go back to school in the fall and all that kind of stuff. So very good. Invent.org is the website to check out.
Or Google Camp Invention.
Yeah.
It'll get you there.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. As always, appreciate it, Peggy, the visit. We'll see you here next time. And,
yes.
Whether it's your library hat or your Camp Invention hat or Leadership Roswell hat or whatever other hat.
I have a lot of hats. You are correct.
Very good. Thanks, Peggy. Don't work too hard.
You.
We'll see you next time.
Thanks.
All right. It is 8:52. Let us pause for local news and a quick commercial break and all that. Don't go away. Let's fight me. Hold on.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Sorello.
Roswell hat or whatever other hat.
I have a lot of hats. You are correct.
Very good. Thanks, Peggy. Don't work too hard. We'll see you next time.
Thanks.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Sorello. We continue following a developing story out of southern Chavez County, where a deputy has been involved in a deadly shooting. Sheriff Mark Cage says deputies had responded to the 100 block of East Jackson Road for reports that a man was hitting tractors with a metal pipe and trying to steal the machinery from a local dairy. It's believed the man was under the influence of either drugs or alcohol. He immediately began fighting with the first deputy that arrived, so the deputy tried to taser the man to subdue him, but that was ineffective. A second deputy arrived, and the man was eventually cuffed and placed in the back of a patrol car. But somehow he slipped the cuffs and got out of the cruiser and tried to jump in the driver's seat where deputies keep other weapons. The man was shot during a struggle inside the patrol car. He died at the scene. His name is not known yet. You're up to date. That's a look at local news headlines this hour. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Walmart will no longer sell cigarettes in some of its stores. Some stores in California, Florida, New Mexico, and Arkansas are on the list. Walmart is not the first national retail chain to cut off cigarette sales, even on a trial basis, but it is the largest. Target ended cigarette sales in 1996, and the drugstore chain CVS Health did the same in 2014. Southwest Airlines reached a tentative agreement Monday with a union representing its customer service agents that would give pay raises totaling more than 16% over the next 3 years to about 7,000 employees. The Machinists Union said its negotiating committee unanimously recommended that members approve the contract in an upcoming ratification vote. During the pandemic, Southwest has seen fewer people apply for some openings, leading the Dallas-based carrier to raise starting pay for many airport-based jobs. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
To plant or not to plant? That is the question. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Our tomato plants and pepper plants are ready to go. If you plant them now, you might have homegrown tomatoes and peppers before anyone else, or the frost might kill them. As Clint Eastwood would say, do you feel lucky? You'll either be the smartest gardener in the county, or you'll get to replant them all over again. I say go for it. You'll get more practice and we'll get more business. This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company, and I apologize to William Shakespeare.
Roswell is our home. That's why we've all got to do our part to stop illegal dumping. Throwing your trash, clutter, or yard debris in the alleys, sidewalks, or streets is a crime, and it takes time and money to clean it up. Those caught dumping illegally can face fines of up to $500. You can help by taking your waste to the landfill once a month for free with a paid water bill. Call the City of Roswell Solid Waste Department for more information at 575-624-6746. Help keep Roswell clean. After all, do you want your kids to grow up in a dump?
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Due to extreme pressure and weather conditions, it literally rains diamonds on Neptune and Uranus. Stop snickering because I said Uranus. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8 o'clock. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The first face-to-face peace talks in a couple of weeks between Ukraine and Russia are ongoing in Istanbul amid reports of some progress. As those talks continue, so too does the war, and rescue operations now underway in the southern Ukrainian city of Mykolaiv, following a Russian attack that hit a regional government office building.
The strike, apparently by a cruise missile, has left a gaping hole through the 9-story building. It destroyed the office of the regional governor, Vitaly Kim, but he wasn't there, having, he said, overslept. Miraculously, he added, most of the people in the building had escaped. Mykolaiv is one of a number of cities recently awarded hero status by President Zelensky. It blocks Russia's route from the occupied city of Kherson to the major Black Sea port of Odessa. Ukrainian troops in the area have repelled concerted attempts by Russia's military to move west, inflicting large losses in the process.
The BBC's Danny Aberhart. President Biden making no apologies for saying that Vladimir Putin cannot remain in power.
After his comment raised questions about possible regime change, the president said he wasn't announcing a new U.S. policy.
I was expressing my outrage at the behavior of this man.
And he said it's ridiculous to think he was suggesting a takedown of Putin.
The last thing I want to do is engage in a land war or a nuclear war with Russia.
Nevertheless, foreign leaders and diplomats cautioned against escalating rhetoric in the Ukraine crisis.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston. The Senate Judiciary Committee to vote next week on advancing Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson's Supreme Court nomination to the full Senate for consideration. On Wall Street, stocks sharply higher this morning. Right now, the Dow is up about 270 points. The NASDAQ ahead 171, and the S&P is up 34 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
I'm about to compare a pepper shaker to a cash-out refinance. Hang with me. You know when you're at a restaurant and they ask, would you like some fresh ground pepper? And then they crank that giant tube, but almost nothing comes out? For me, only a certain amount of time is socially acceptable to wait. I know that getting that pepper out might make my life better, but it just seems too impossible. And that's what we hear people say about the cash-out refinance. People realize that the value of their home has gone up like hot pepper the last few years, leaving all this extra money sitting inside their home. But is it too hard to get out? It's Ryan from United Faith Mortgage. If you're interested in cashing out the extra pepper in your home, we're good at doing all the work while you just sit back and relax. And often, your mortgage payment and years in the loan will stay the same. If you'd like to hear about your options,
we are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Middle Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to NMLS Corporate NMLS number 1330. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
A grassroots initiative in Hungary has recruited more than 20,000 volunteer ballot counters. The aim to ensure a fair tally in the upcoming general election.
Prime Minister Viktor Orban is seeking his fourth consecutive term in the April 3rd contest. Polls suggest the vote will be the closest election since Orban came to power in 2010. But concerns among supporters of Hungary's political opposition say they need at least 2 ballot counters in each of Hungary's 10,000 polling places to protect against potential fraud.
It's correspondent Jeremy House. Saudi Arabia's oil chief says global energy markets are going through what he calls a jittery period, and he is reiterating that the kingdom's ability to ensure energy security no longer guaranteed. The Saudi energy minister says cross-border attacks raise questions about country's ability to supply the world with the necessary energy requirements. News and analysis, townhall.com. It may get easier for those convicted of crimes to vote in North Carolina.
North Carolina judges have struck down a state law that prohibits people convicted of felonies from registering to vote while they are still serving probation, parole, or other supervision. While appeals are possible, Monday's ruling ultimately could allow tens of thousands of additional people to register to vote. The judge's decision expands on a preliminary injunction issued last August in a trial challenging a state law that delays the restoration of voting rights for some offenders who aren't serving prison or jail time. That injunction was essentially blocked, but Monday's ruling makes it more permanent. Keith Peters reporting.
Chinese officials trying to reassure business and jittery investors as a two-phase lockdown of Shanghai's 26 million people enters its second day. It's casting an unusual quiet over the normally bustling center of finance in China. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Howdy.
Hope everyone's doing well.
Dude, I have never been happier to be this close to the ground in my entire life.
Sean had to help on the engineering side for a little bit there.
Look, I'm not going to implicate this company in things that can get us, like, in trouble and fined for things. There's a lot of unsafe about what just happened. Like, I understand. First of all, can we get a railing for the stairwell upstairs, please? Please. Just a railing. That would have relieved so much of my anxiety. Then, once we get up, and I've been on the roof before, but once we get up there, immediate vertigo.
Yeah.
Immediate vertigo.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't
was
like
just
heights
like,
either.
I had to find a wall, put both hands on it so that I felt secure, and just stay there until... Oh, God. Anything else I say is gonna get us, like, OSHA fines, so I'm not going to say anything else.
The Jeffrey. Did the Jeffrey get you and you had to rub the walls?
I had to rub the furry wall. This is the Jeremy.
Oh, Jeremy. I thought it was a Jeffrey.
Nope, when someone slips you a Jeremy, you must rub the furry wall.
I thought it was a Jeffrey.
Get Him to the Greek is one of the most underrated movies of all time.
I don't know. In my head, I had it as Jeffrey. I apologize.
That's
Speaking of movies, so I don't know if it released yesterday or today. I just saw it like 5-10 minutes ago. And I'm a little excited now.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie. They finally have a release date for the Top Gun Maverick movie.
Oh, do they?
Yes.
They've had 3 of those now.
Well, I think this one's
going to stick?
This is the
This
good
one's going
one.
to stick the landing?
Yeah. May 27th.
Ooh.
And they released a new trailer. And it kind of explains the story.
Okay.
So now, because the other trailers were just basically Maverick flying around saying Maverick things and then, showing a bunch of cool flying scenes.
Right.
This one had some subcontext into the storyline.
Okay.
And now I think I got the point of the movie. I get what's going on. Is it a little farcical?
Well, it's going to have to be. I mean, there's a layer of camp to any movie that came out in the 80s, but especially like a movie like Top Gun, the whole I feel the need, it's just, there's a lot of camp to it.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to, in order to nod to that movie, you have to have some campiness in it.
Yeah. But it sounds like the premise of the movie is, now you have to see the first Top Gun to understand. So, for those that have never seen the first Top Gun, I just explained this to Tanner.
It's a volleyball movie, for those who don't know.
Starring Kenny Loggins.
That's right.
Now, so basically the premise of that movie is Maverick, our hero, Tom Cruise. He's from a family of Navy aviators. His dad was a pilot. His dad's a...
Naviators, if you will.
Naviators, yes. His dad was kind of lived by the seat of your pants style. He flew recklessly, but he was a hero type. Maverick has the same reputation as a loose cannon, flies by the seat of his pants.
Quite literally.
But he's an outstanding pilot. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
when you take risks, you get rewards.
So the first movie, basically, he gets recognized and is sent to Top Gun, which is the Navy's elite training version for their pilots. They train their pilots for combat readiness.
I was going to say basically their version of the SEALs, but no, their version of the SEALs is the SEALs.
Yeah, they have those.
They actually have those. Yeah,
it's combat training for Navy aviators.
Right.
Okay.
Will you just say Naviators? Just save yourself the time. Because every time I hear Navy aviators, that's all I hear is Naviators.
So that's based. So the premise of that movie, he goes to Top Gun. Val Kilmer, who's Iceman, is like his rival. He's like an excellent pilot, but he's by the book, more by the book. Blah 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 blah. Anyway, after Top Gun, they get to a real world scenario. They blow up some Russians, and all is right in the world again. Well, this one. So stem it to modern times.
It takes place right after the events of the first movie.
Yeah.
They've de-aged everyone 40 years.
Yeah. So apparently, here in modern times, there is some kind of mission. And this is where it gets a little campy, like you're talking about.
Okay.
There's some kind of mission that these pilots have to do, and it requires the best naval aviators in the Navy to go and do this mission. But they need someone to train them. Well, apparently, Iceman, Val Kilmer, is Admiral blah, 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 blah now, and he's, big to-do in the Navy. And he said, there's only one man to recommend to train these recruits. We got to bring out Maverick. And, of course, so they bring out Maverick from retirement.
He's literally just been sitting in a room eating saltines for 30 years.
Yeah, so they even pull the bike off out of the dust so he can ride the bike and do the bike scene and all that. So he goes in there, and so basically he goes to Top Gun, and he's kind of like Viper and Tom Skerritt's character now, where he's training these guys. And so he goes in there, and these are all hot dog pilots, and then he comes in there and scares the living daylights out of them and turns them into, Maverick pilots.
Right. Rough and tumble, hard Scrabble.
And then, of course, they train for the mission.
Aviators.
It turns out one of these elite pilots is the son of Goose.
Oh.
So there's that connection. And
right.
then there's all the, reliving I killed your dad kind of thing.
Prepare to die.
Yeah, kind of. So they have that moment. And then they go and fly whatever this said mission is that they've got to do. That's pretty much the premise of the movie, based on the trailer I just saw. They do a great job with the fight scenes, though. It's like the first one.
See, and that's the thing. The first one did a really good job with the fight scenes.
Yes and no.
With the dogfight scenes. And they also didn't have the abilities with CGI and things that we have today.
Yes and no, they did go with the fight scenes. Some of the actual aerial combat is great. The tactics that they talk about in the movie are garbage. Okay? The whole too close to missiles switching for guns, the whole inverted, that's all garbage.
We were inverted.
And to be honest, they had a lot of trouble making those scenes because, and this is where it's cool because in the first I just actually happened to watch a whole thing about Top Gun, and of course they did it with the navies, and so they actually had Navy pilots and Navy, and they're the ones doing all the maneuvers and stuff you see in the movie.
Right.
Those are actual Navy pilots doing Navy stuff with Navy aircraft and all of that. They even had a couple scenes where they put the actors in, but turned out that didn't work because you can't act when you're pulling 6 Gs. You can't say stuff like "I have the need for speed" when you're doing an inverted G,
right?
4G Java here. Yeah. It's because just to get everything in, you have to grunt to get. Like that's the thing when you flying of those planes is a workout. Like you talk about how NASCAR drivers are, they ride the 500 miles. And those fighter pilots times 10.
Yeah.
When they start, because when they go to like do those hard turns and everything, that's pulling on their body. So they actually grunt and stuff to keep the blood in their head from passing out.
I laugh because I actually have a newfound respect for NASCAR drivers. Because Roswell has a roundabout, and one of my kids' favorite things to do is to go around the roundabout twice. So we'll go to the roundabout and I'll get on it and we'll go, what? And we'll just do the roundabout 2 times. By the end of just that 2 times around the roundabout, I want to get out of my car and throw up.
You're done.
I'm just like Gravitron levels of dizzy. And I'm like, oh, now I have to operate a motor vehicle with my children inside.
Well, the roundabout for NASCAR is a bit larger.
It's a bit larger. That's what we need. We need to bring in funny car racing, but roundabout racing.
Although those Richmond and some of those other tracks are pretty tiny. But anyway, so they could do that. But But looking at I think, of course, there's CGI in this.
Well, yeah.
But they do a lot of, it looks like they do an awesome mix of fighters doing actual flying. Because those scenes where you see them with the F-18 through the canyon, and that's not CGI.
Right.
That's a pilot doing that stuff. And but one of the big things I'm sorry I got sidetracked when like the famous inverted scene from the first Top Gun where they take a picture and they're inverted. That was very hard to pull off. They can do that in real life. The problem is having a camera catch it on
clean. Right.
Yeah, because
especially a camera back then.
Because they have to slow down. Because in essence, they're doing like mock, doing that kind of stuff.
So I'm assuming what they had to do was basically like you get like a high exposure camera, like one that was took several 1,700 pictures,
and the pilots had to slow down to almost dangerous levels to execute. That they had to go so slow to do that it was more dangerous rather than doing it in full speed real time. And so so that's some of the stuff there that the pilots were like, because basically what you had was Tony Scott, the director, basically coming up in his head, can you do, I want the jet to do this, and then the Navy pilot's like, you can't do that, you can do this.
Right.
All right, this we can try to work a version of, but that's ridiculous. And then so they had to do a lot of that, and I'm sure.
If you can't, we'll find somebody that can, and then there would be many casualties.
Problem is, you can't beat physics.
It's true.
A plane can do only so many things.
That is true.
So, but anyway, the trailer, it kind of gave some storyline, and I'm kind of like, all right, now I kind of want to. I guess Lady Gaga is going to be doing the theme song for this, because I'm seeing it in the comments for the movie trailer. All I'm seeing is a bunch of people going, "Where's the Gaga song?" And I know it's Lady Gaga. Stop it.
Mike's truly a little monster. He has been for years. He's got posters on his wall.
That's right.
They're framed, which I thought was odd. One of them's in a shadow box.
That's right. You haven't seen my poker face, but
really haven't. I've known this man for years.
But everyone was clamoring for the song. Like, you just saw like some cool plane stuff, and y'all clamor for the song.
We needs me. Yeah, it's kind of like how like the James Bond movies. There's always a song that's attached to it that really doesn't fit necessarily, and it's like it always seemed odd to me that like Madonna did a James Bond song, or Adele. Those they don't seem like choices for like James Bond style level movies.
Well, Adele's British.
Well, yeah.
Madonna was pretending to be British.
Madonna's no.
So, but anyway, point is, May 27th, new Top Gun movie. I think I'm there early as possible to see it.
Yeah.
I kind of want to check it out.
I'd be curious to check it out, but I think I'm going to probably wait it until it's out on streaming. Just because, I mean, I've already waited 3 years from when they promised me this movie. I think I can wait for 3 or 4 more months.
Yeah.
I'll be fine. This one doesn't like, I'm not clamoring. It's kind of like the new Jackass movie. I know it's out on Paramount Plus now. Like I could go and watch it. I'm choosing not to because of how much male exposure I've been informed that this movie has.
I've heard that too.
Yeah, I just don't know if I want to if I want to see some of my heroes of childhood in this light.
I hate to tell you this, Sean. You're not going to like this.
I know.
You're getting older, bud.
Shut.
And the things that interest you 10 years ago aren't interesting you as much anymore. And things like naked dudes shocking each other is one of those things that's starting to...
Which, in fairness, it was never really my thing to begin with. Just for clarification's sake.
Just saying.
Just so we're clear. Knows I don't want that algorithm onto my phone. Hot singles in your no. But yeah, all I'm saying is I'm sure it's funny. It's just it feels like it's going to be a lot.
Yeah.
Like I watched Bruno, the movie Bruno, in the movie theater. In the theater, you people. Like if you.
I don't think I saw that one in the theater. I saw one of the Borat movies in the theater.
Yeah, Borat was bad. But if you've seen Bruno, you know exactly which scene I'm talking about.
I saw that on TV.
Put it on the big screen.
Yeah, I did not do that.
With
I saw
stereo surround sound.
I saw it on my 65-inch TV, which was
pretty bad enough.
Big enough. That particular day, I was like, man, why can't they make 13-inch TVs again?
You know, you can't help but feel bad for the people that saw it in IMAX.
Did they even make that movie in IMAX?
I hope.
That's a crime in and of itself, right there. Oh, man. Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. We'll get you up to date with the weather here in just a few minutes. Then in just a couple more minutes after that, we'll have Amy McVeigh-Tejas join us with the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico talking scholarships. We're also going to get one of last year's scholarship recipients on the phone with us and get an update from them. Later on this hour, we'll get you up to date with the news of the local variety along with your Wall Street business update and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. Before we do any of that, though, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore with your Pecos Valley weather. Very strong winds developing across our area, folks. We're looking at that increasing southwesterly wind, especially for the afternoon time. We're talking gusts anywhere from 50 to 60 miles per hour. Blowing dust and low visibility in the forecast for the afternoon, and also critical fire weather conditions. Today's high area-wide for the mid to upper 70s, dropping off to the mid-40s for tonight with still some strong winds early on. That's your latest forecast. I'm Jennifer Naramore.
Thank you, Jennifer. Currently, I got to get my weather up. I was busy not doing that. Currently, 63 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 18%. Hence the reason for what I'm about to tell you after that. With west winds at 6 miles per hour. With the 18% humidity and the winds we got coming in, red flag warnings for today. That's going to kick in at 10 a.m., remain in effect through 9 o'clock tonight. High wind warning kicking in at 11, remaining in effect through 7 p.m. this evening. It's going to be 76 today. That's the best I can tell you about today's weather. It's going to be 76. Expect some areas of blowing dust this afternoon. Sunny, 76. Windy, southwest winds 15 to 25, increase in 35 to 40, gusting as high as 55 miles per hour later today. Tonight, the areas of blowing dust continue till about 10 p.m., partly cloudy. Overnight low of 47. Winds will remain up out of the west, 30 to 35. Gusting as high as 50 miles per hour. After midnight, they'll decrease down 20 to 25, which is not that big of a decrease. So it's going to be windy tonight. For you Wednesday, they're saying there's a 30% chance of some rain showers, mainly the sweet spot for rain tomorrow, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's what they're saying. But they say we got a chance of rain pretty much all day. Partly cloudy, high of 68 tomorrow with north winds 15 to 20. Gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. So a little breezy tomorrow, too. Tomorrow night, we're looking at a 30% chance of showers, partly cloudy, overnight low of 39 with west winds 15 to 20. Then Thursday, the rain's done. Winds are more normal. Mostly sunny, high of 69, so near 70 on Thursday. Northwest winds 5 to 10. Friday, mostly cloudy and gradually becoming sunny with a high near 80, and then sunny with a high near 80 on Saturday, sunny and 86 on Sunday. All right, it is 23 minutes after 8 o'clock. We're going to take a 3-minute commercial break, and then we'll have Amy McVeigh-Tejas with the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico join us, and then also joining us on the phone will be Kyra Gordon, who is one of our scholarship award winners from last year. So we'll get an update from her. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Hey, all you cats and kitties out there in Radio Land, listen up, because if you're thinking a cruise down Main Street in Artesia sounds like the perfect way to spend a Saturday, well, have I got news for you, because we ain't fooling around. It's the 23rd Annual Main Event Car Show and Cruise, coming up Friday and Saturday, April 1st and 2nd in downtown Artesia. Kicking things off on Friday, April 1st with a parade and cruise down Main Street at 6 p.m. Then come out for a stroll through Heritage Plaza Saturday starting at 9 to see amazing cars from all decades lined up for you to view. Classic cars to antique trucks and even some tractors. There'll be something for everybody. Best of all, spectators are free. For more information or to sign up, call the Artesia Chamber of Commerce at 575-746-2744. That's 575-746-2744, or go online to artesiachamber.com. Don't miss the 23rd Annual Main Event Car Show and Cruise, Friday and Saturday, April 1st and 2nd in downtown Artesia. Paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax. They're back. The Yucca Blossom Trade Show is back and even bigger and better for spring. Saturday and Sunday, April 2nd and 3rd. It's the Yucca Blossom Spring Into Action Trade Show at the Eddy County Fairgrounds in Artesia. Even bigger than ever with over 100 vendors across 3 buildings at the fairgrounds. And there's lots of activities for the entire family, including the Runyon Ranch Petting Zoo, MJWZ barrel cars, a cornhole tournament, face painting, kids get your picture taken with the Easter Bunny, and so much more. Plus, the food. Some of the best and most popular food trucks will be on hand so you can spend the entire day. Enter to win the raffle with a drawing live on 92.9 The Brand Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m., 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. Saturday, April 2nd, and 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Sunday, April 3rd at the Eddy County Fairgrounds in Artesia. The Yucca Blossom Spring Into Action Trade Show. Don't miss it. Find Yucca Blossom Trade Days on Facebook to see some of the amazing one-of-a-kind items available to you during the Yucca Blossom Spring Into Action Trade Show, April 2nd and 3rd. This invitation paid for by Holly Frontier Navajo Refining Company, a proud member of our community.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. The education assistance I received made it possible for me to be the first person in my family to go to school and graduate debt-free. That education helped get me to the first day at my dream job, a job that I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job, plus the other benefits possible from the Army National Guard, helped me become a first-time homeowner. Also, part of my role as a National Guard soldier means I know that I can be one of the first to respond and help my community if disaster ever strikes. I'm extremely proud that I get to serve my community, and that first step I took by joining the Army National Guard has made all the difference in my life. Talk to your local recruiter or visit NationalGuard.com to find out what firsts are available to you in the Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard, aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The catfish has over 27,000 taste buds. Do you think they prefer fried or blackened? Here's Mike Winters.
Fried. Good morning. It is 27 minutes after 8 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico, Amy McVeigh-Tejas back with us. Joining us on the phone this morning is Kyra Gordon. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How's everybody doing today?
We're good.
I'm doing great.
Good.
Love the weather. Hi, Kyra.
It is. I could do without the wind today, but the temps are nice.
Right,
but it is spring in southeast New Mexico, so kind of goes with the territory a little bit. But since it is spring in southeast New Mexico, you know what that means. It is time again for scholarships and things. The Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico, thanks very much through some people that are partnered with us, to the Hayes family, among other families. It's, those other people that have stepped up and are giving us money and saying, go give it to kids for school. And we're like, okay. And so we do that. But now's the time of year to apply for the Historical Society scholarships. And we've got a lot of money that's just ready and waiting for students to come and claim.
We've got a lot of money and not very many applications.
And we only got
Friday's the day.
A couple days, yeah. Thursday's our last.
And that's no April Fool's either.
Yeah.
Friday is the day.
I just realized that. Right? April's this week.
Oh,
I was going to say,
sounds
you got
like I
like a
need
week.
to
No,
apply
it's
again.
tomorrow.
And by the way, Miss Jane, if you're listening, happy early birthday.
It's today or this
It'll
week?
be April Fool's.
Her birthday's April Fool's?
And that's no joke either.
Oh,
That's no
man.
Fool's
See,
either.
and then she tells people, and you're like, really? Is it? Nuh-uh. Wonder how many gag gifts she's got as birthday presents over the years.
No kidding. No kidding. But I'm so glad to have Kyra on the radio with us. You know, through the Teen Leadership Institute program, she was heavy on my mind because I was thinking, she's right over there working, and stuff. So I'm glad to have Kyra.
Yeah. So Kyra is one of the scholarship award winners from last year.
Last year.
Yeah. So
she's part of our family. She's stuck with us.
So Kyra, first things first. What have you been up to since we last spoke?
So since the last time we spoke, I now am enrolled at the Institute. I am pursuing an Associate's of Science or / pre-engineering degree.
Okay.
I take a lot of classes. I've just been doing classes every day. I joined some clubs like chemistry club, paintball. I am the guidon here, which means that I hold the flag.
Okay, I know what that is. Yeah. You're the one that everyone basically marches to your, like if you screw up, you're screwing everybody up.
Oh yeah. So that means I have to be
right. You got to be on point because everyone's watching you to find out what to do.
Oh yeah, especially if you have like this tall stick with a flag on it. Everyone's really looking at you.
I know very well. I knew when I was in the Air Force, and during basic training, the guidon got yelled at a lot. Just saying.
Oh yeah.
I understand. So good for you. So is engineering you want to be ultimately to get a career in engineering in some way, or do you know specifically what you want to do?
Yes, sir. I'm actually on track for chemical engineering. I plan on finishing my degree at New Mexico Tech, and kind of like in that field of just like the industry part, like really like being there, interacting with people, like actively like trying to like solve problems, make like a difference in the community.
Very cool. So how's now? I'm curious. Now is this year your first year ever in a military? Like, did you go to the Institute as a high school student, or were you? Was this your first opportunity to kind of experience military style training, education, that kind of stuff?
So this is actually my first time being in a military environment. I only came to Roswell maybe a couple of years ago, and I graduated from Roswell High. And I kept hearing about NMMI and how it was really good, and a lot of my teachers at Roswell High actually graduated from the school.
Okay, so you got a lot of insight going in.
Yeah, like a lot of, I kept hearing good things about the school, and I was like, I really like structure, I really like discipline, and I really like a good education. So that's kind of what drew me here.
Nice.
I remember through the scholarship process, she unveiled that to us too.
Yeah.
We were like, really?
Well, it's great because, and apparently you must be doing well with it, because if you're the guide on and things that, that these extracurricular activities, these are things that the leaders kind of get. And so it sounds like you not only are you experiencing it for the first time, but it sounds like you're thriving pretty well in it.
I like to think I am. I have a pretty good GPA for my first year of college.
Nice.
I got a 3.8 last year, and I'm on track to get a 4.0 this semester.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
And we're getting calls for award ceremonies and different things.
Nice.
So, Kyra, we're just so proud of you. I'm so thankful that you're part of our family through the Historical Society, and we can't wait to get more updates. And just don't ever forget that we're part of your family. So we care about all these amazing things. We're just really excited.
Well, and it's kind of cool that you're doing all this local here too, because I'm sure your family appreciates that. But it really gets a chance for you to put into practice the stuff you're learning and right here in your own local community, and that's why like Amy was saying here, we check in and kind of keep everyone our family. This one's a little easier to track because she's in her own backyard here, but which means from time to time you might see her at various historical events, society events here doing stuff, which is awesome. But it's so great to hear that you had a great first year at college here. You're doing well. How's the how much of an adjustment was that for you? Obviously you're a pretty good student going into this, earning the scholarships. You have your parents done you well, and you got your head on straight and doing well on this. But even still, the amount of discipline and the regimen that did it take some time to get used to that, or did that feel very natural to you?
It absolutely took a pretty long adjustment period. When I first got here, you really have to learn how to manage your time, and that's one of the big things that everyone says about NMMI. Like, you really have to learn how to manage like how you're going to use your time, like setting aside time to do your homework versus setting aside time to do like your leadership role.
Sure.
It was a huge adjustment, and I kind of compared last semester to this semester. I kind of knew like the game plan going into the beginning of this semester. Sure. In comparison to last semester, you kind of just get thrown into it. It's a lot of learning. Even before school starts, you're there for 2 weeks just learning everything about how to march, how to talk to your leaders, like so many things, how to adjust to the very strict schedule that they have. It was definitely an adjustment period, but I think it did make me stronger.
I think so. And that the things you've learned, those ancillary things that you necessarily didn't learn in a classroom, you learned on a drill field or in the barracks or whatever. Those skill sets, those lessons will serve you well throughout life, because whatever decisions, whatever goals you attain for yourself over time, you're going to need those tools to get to those goals. It's just how to function in society. You know what I mean? And so those things are going to serve you. Plus, I imagine too is the team concept. Even though you're the one doing your reports, you're the one writing your papers and taking the tests and exams and everything, but without that team concept, it's very difficult to get that stuff done. And that's, I think NMMI does a great job of that too, where in essence, yes, they give you very, very big challenges, very tough challenges, but they also put you together and give you the tools to kind of achieve it together. And they want to, does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Kira,
that makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
they give you a lot of resources and a lot of opportunity to take advantage of those.
Yeah. So, and trust me, that stuff will serve you well when 20 years from now, when you're managing something or at the peak of what you're doing right at that point,
Well, we talk a lot about the word legacy in the Historical Society, and I'm so honored that Kyra is part of the rich legacy of the Historical Society. If you would ask me 10 years ago again, where would the Historical Society be in 2022, and what will we be doing and what things will change or whatever? Here we are, Mike. We're getting ready for fourth graders. We're handing out scholarships. We're talking to a dynamic individual that's representing not only Roswell High, but New Mexico Military Institute, and part of our future. That's the rich legacy. So I think that Linda Hayes would be very proud of what the Historical Society's done, and connecting these dots. Our family just keeps getting bigger.
Absolutely.
With these amazing, dynamic kids from all over, not one school or not one they're all different.
Yeah.
But the sky is bright because of individuals like Kyra and the others, and we're just excited for the future. And we cannot not talk about scholarships and not talk about some of these dynamic kids and amazing things they're doing.
This is Kyra's is the success, the reason why, and we see. The reason why the folks like the Hayes family and these other folks that we're so appreciative of their desire to help other people, and we as a historical society are just lucky enough to be the conduit.
And
for
through
that.
the good and the bad, because it wasn't easy, and Kyra kept in touch, and now we're celebrating the good, and she may go through some more hardships, but we're just there for you, and
that's
we're really
life.
excited.
That's gonna be life.
It is. But the bigger the family and the more support you have, it just helps get through these challenges.
Absolutely, and I'm pretty sure one day we'll see Kyra, and she's going to be the one helping others, and you know what I mean.
Right.
It's going to be a full circle moment for you
sure.
someday. You're going to see.
I do intend to help others in the future, like Miss Amy and the Historical Society have helped me.
You're probably going to meet someone and be like, man, that person reminds them of me, and then you kind of take them under your wing and start going, yeah, it'll happen, and it's a cool feeling when you get to mentor someone and see the things you've learned and able to share that with others. It's a cool feeling.
And one of the reasons we have Kyra on, there's a lot more Kyras out there, but we won't know if they don't apply for scholarships.
Exactly. We have the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico has, thanks to the Linda Hayes family, it's is it 4 or 5? I always I don't have the sheet in front of me.
We have it's $1,250 scholarships this year. So we have 2 in the STEM category, 2 in the character category, which, a reminder, any high school senior can apply for the character category. So we have STEM, character, and arts and humanities.
Yes.
And individuals can apply for more than one scholarship, which we already have that right now.
Absolutely.
So if they're going in the field like Kyra, of STEM or whatever, and they can apply for a character, they can apply for more than one scholarship.
Everybody should apply for the character.
For sure.
And then
because
obviously
everything they've gone through, these have been unique times.
Yeah, and then obviously if you're pursuing education in STEM-related careers or arts and humanities careers, which is both pretty broad categories. But in essence, every person that applies should, in theory, be applying for 2 scholarships.
Right, and we've had kids in certain instances with a minor and a major that literally could qualify for and apply for all three. That's right, because of a major and a minor. And like I said, these kids have gone through so much, and we're just happy to hear their stories.
Well, and I got to be honest, and people like some of our board members are going to get a little salty with me on this statement, but I want the public to make it a hard job for these folks. I want it to be where and you guys do a great job already. I know they pull their hair out every time this year, going through all the essays and going through and trying to make a decision, because every single one that comes through are deserving, and you just it's like picking your best kid kind of thing. It's like, how do you do it? You can't. And so I know they go through a gut-wrenching time, but I want them to have it, because I want to get as many kids as humanly possible applying for this scholarship, because there is so much money that goes unchecked, unclaimed through scholarships. And I think half the time it's people don't either know about it, or they don't think they're qualified for it because of they make too much money, or whatever their story is. And I'm like, no, this is one of those moments where you want to literally throw everything at the wall and see what sticks for you.
I think that's important that you mention that, Mike, because we at the Historical Society take this all very seriously. We can't give scholarships to every kid that applies, but also we stay in touch with these kids. So whether it's Teen Leadership Institute or we obtain more information about other scholarships, we're going to forward that out to as many kids as possible. Kyra's a perfect example. She applied for our scholarship. She stayed in communication, and we obtained more information about other scholarships. And any way we can partner with these kids.
Sure.
That's what it's all about.
Absolutely. Just out of curiosity, how did you find out about the Historical Society Scholarship when you initially applied?
I actually found out from my boyfriend's father, because he is very involved in the Roswell community, and he was actually actively seeking out scholarships, and he happened to just forward it to me.
Okay.
And I would actually kind of had a group of people doing this for me as well, because I was kind of in a sticky situation with affording college.
Gotcha.
And so I looked into it, and I was like, well, this scholarship seems pretty prestigious. And I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to get this. But I read the prompt, and I was like, I think I can actually write an essay about this. And I felt pretty confident, so I applied anyway. And then I ended up getting it.
That's
and
awesome.
To anyone who's listening out there, I would really encourage you to apply for these scholarships, even if you think that you may not get it, because not only did it help me financially, it really was one of the first signs of hope for me to be able to actually go to college.
That's awesome.
And even just Miss Amy listening to my story, taking me into her home, giving me a tour of the Historical Society, it really made a big impact on me. And that's why I like to keep in touch.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
And and the cool part is the fact that Amy did all that, none of that surprises me. What's making me happy here is you you thriving with it, but then sitting here talking about just, I didn't think I was good enough, but I did that. I stepped out on that ledge anyway, and look where it got me here. And I think that's such an important message is for young people especially, is half the battle is showing up and trying. If you just show up and try and give it your all, you're going to be all right.
You'd be surprised.
You're going to be all right.
Right.
Even if you think you're outclassed or out of your league on something, no, odds are pretty good they're just as scared as you are. They don't know it yet. You know what I mean? Right. And you learn that as you get older. And so that's awesome, Kyra, that you're able.
Kyra brings sunshine. You make my heart smile, and Kyra's got quite the testimony. To say that life's been easy for her, I think. She reminds me a lot of myself. Not much is easy for us, and we don't expect it to be. But you came alight after our scholarships, because she just started flying high. And awesome. All these things lined up. So we're just thankful. And like I said, Kyra is one of many, but your story is so special.
Absolutely.
And we're excited. I can't wait for graduation and those fun things and in the future.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, this is procrastinators. And
Yes.
non-procrastinators are like, this is your official 2-minute warning.
It is.
If you want to have a chance to be considered for any of these scholarships, you have to have your applications into the Historical Society by Friday.
Yes.
By close of business Friday, those applications
And what
need
ends
to
up
be in.
happening, those are Google documents. So actually, even, I hate to say this, I don't like to put it in this analogy, but as long as it's Friday, that Google document is going to be accepted.
Gotcha.
And it doesn't matter whether you're Gateway, Homeschool, New Mexico Military Institute, outside. We'll be on the radio in a little bit with Artesia, those surrounding communities. Get the word out, share these things through social media, Instagram, Facebook, make a call, send a text. And like I said, there may be another Kyra right over there at New Mexico Military Institute in high school. You know there is.
There absolutely
So get the word out if you're listening and make those messages like your church groups, youth groups, all those things. Get the word out.
Yeah.
And I love it, except it makes it life hard. We love to hear these stories, rich stories, and you never know. We may have to call and make some favors and get another scholarship.
Absolutely.
Hey, or if you're listening, let me say this. If you are listening and think, I should have called and I want to be a part of it, I'm going to tell you right now, we would love to give out another scholarship money.
Sure.
So if somebody's listening and saying,
I got a briefcase full of cash. Come on down.
Hey, I never thought I would be giving out scholarships, but I want to invest in this legacy in this future. It is not too late to give or support the Historical Society through scholarship membership. So what that means is you would make a direct donation. All 100% monies would go directly into a scholarship.
Yeah.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah, we don't.
Period. End of conversation.
Yeah.
Do we need the money at the Historical
Oh, yeah,
Society?
we're always broke,
You're
too,
darn
but
right
yeah.
we do, and that's a whole other story. This is too important. This
Sure.
is too important.
Absolutely, yeah. We
Both are important.
This is we're just the conduit that makes this happen at the end of the day.
Yes.
We and for those folks that are thinking about it, I'm telling you, you want to make a great impact with your money. This is it.
Oh,
right
and
here,
if you lost
is investing in the future.
somebody, what a wonderful memorial tribute. You can make a donation in loving memory of somebody, and we could provide an additional scholarship.
Absolutely. So so if there's any other folks out there that
Please
want
call.
to reach out to Amy today,
Call
we can make it happen.
622-8333 or call me or text me directly on my cell phone, 575-915-4471. Mike, there's nothing I would like more of for you to announce as another scholarship.
That would be an awesome thing to do. And then in the meantime, everyone that's interested in applying for any of our STEM, arts and humanities, or the character scholarships, applications have to be, and go to roswellnmhistory.org.
That's right.
And you'll find the application. You'll find all the information there. This isn't a quick check some boxes, put your name and address.
Don't wait till the last minute.
You do have
we're
to
going
write
to need
an essay,
transcript. We're going to need and that's something I'm Mike. If your phone app, if somebody, I had a student call me yesterday and say, Amy, our scholarship applications aren't working. Google Documents are unique from a cell phone versus a laptop or an iPad.
Okay.
They are functioning, so we need you to go. If you're looking through your phone, those arrows to apply may not work because depending on what type of phone you have and through Google Documents.
So maybe best to be on a computer or something.
Yes,
Okay.
100%. You'll see it right on roswellnmhistory.org. You'll see the three different, but do not wait till the last minute because you will need transcripts and you will need letters of recommendation.
Of course, all these young folks are way better at technology than we are.
Oh, for sure.
They could probably figure the workaround. No,
But-
you do it on the phone. You got to do this. Like,
You can't apply it.
I'll take your word
working.
for it.
Well, I assure you it's working. We're getting those applications, but don't wait till the last minute.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's the big thing.
Yes.
If you're like Thursday night going, I need to get on the ball about this, it might be too late.
It might be too late.
Especially tracking down transcripts
Right.
and some of that kind of stuff. So get on the stick now, and thank you to the Hayes family. Thank you
Yes.
to every single person that that's given us money to be a part of this. Thank you to every single person that supports the Historical Society and all of our
Yes.
fundraising events
Yes.
and our fourth grade tours and all the things that we do. Now we're starting to get a little bit back more into normal and doing everything on a regular again.
We are.
We're still offering private tours. We're still doing all that. But right now we want to make sure we get these scholarships. Tell your friends, tell your family, get them out there. Go to roswellnmhistory.org. You can read about the scholarships, learn more about the scholarships, and obviously apply for the scholarships too. So I wanted to ask her, like you said, you're going to go to New Mexico Tech and all that. Do you want to stay in this area when you're done, or do you? I know life changes and everything, and you meet people and all that. But is your plan to stay in Southeast New Mexico, or do you want to see other parts of the country?
Well, I do enjoy the South, so I definitely think I will stay in the South, whether that's Texas, New Mexico, or Arizona, that type of area.
Okay.
That's all the information I can disclose at this time because life is crazy.
I understand. Well, and I don't know.
for sure.
I don't know if you met someone or ever, but also life happens. And when you go to school, you start
Probably.
meeting people, and then you fall in love. And trust me, I was born and raised in Maryland. If you would have asked me when I was your age, where if I was going to end up in Roswell, New
Roswell,
Mexico,
New Mexico.
I would have laughed in your face. And now here I've been for 20 plus years. So yes, love will take you in different directions sometimes. So yeah.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Well, have a great day, dear.
Yes, thank you very much. Congratulations. We're so happy to hear that you're thriving and doing well at New Mexico Military Institute. And we'd love to. Hey, maybe we'll get you on the show with Amy one time and hang out while we're.
That's awesome.
While we're talking.
And thank your
Mills
boyfriend's
That
father.
sounds really fun.
And thank your boyfriend's father. See, that's how it began.
That's true. That's true.
Yes, ma'am.
That's true. That's true. Well, congratulations. Thank you, and good luck. And
Yes, good luck.
we can't wait to talk to you again down the road. All right, Kyra?
All right. Thank you so much for having me. I
All
hope
right.
you'll have a blessed day.
Have
All
a
right.
great day.
You do the same. Get to school. I'm sure you got a bunch to test to study for. So.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. We'll talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, that was Kyra Cooper, one of our...
Kyra Gordon.
Gordon, did I...
That's all right.
You know
Hey,
what
we
I
have
said?
too many things.
I know why I said Cooper. Gordon Cooper is one of the Mercury 7 astronauts. So when I see Gordon, I think of Gordon Cooper, and so I just say Cooper.
I don't know. Maybe she might get into that field. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, if you ever seen the movie The Right Stuff,
The Right Stuff.
Dennis Quaid's character in that movie is Gordon Cooper.
That's funny. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome.
He's one of the original Mercury 7 astronauts, Gordo Cooper.
That's cool. That's awesome.
But congratulations to Kyra, and I'm glad to see she's doing well. That's awesome. So, folks, don't mess around. Get those things. This is your last minute reminder here. Get it done. I hate for you to be one of those folks that are more than qualified, and the only reason you didn't get any money is because you didn't apply for it.
And if you need more assistance, not familiar with Google Documents, which most children are.
Yeah. But if you need help with that, we can walk you through
Give
all
us a
that.
call, 622-8333. Have any questions, concerns? If there's any way we can help, get the word out, anything.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. I know you got to get all. She's doing the. She's like Denzel Washington, all those guys when they got a new movie out and they got to sit in a room and like talk to about 50 media outlets. She's got to go talk to another media outlet here
That's
for
right.
a scholarship. So she got to talk to my boss. Give him a hard time. For me.
I will. I'm going to.
Thanks, Amy.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you next time. It is 8:52. Let's pause for some news and a quick break. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. We continue following a developing story out of southern Chavez County where a deputy has been involved in a deadly shooting. Sheriff Mark Cage says deputies had responded to the 100 block of East Jackson Road for reports that a man was hitting tractors with a metal pipe and trying to steal the machinery from a local dairy. It's believed the man was under the influence of either drugs or alcohol. He immediately began fighting with the first deputy that arrived, so the deputy tried to taser the man to subdue him, but that was ineffective. A second deputy arrived, and the man was eventually cuffed and placed in the back of a patrol car. But somehow he slipped the cuffs and got out of the cruiser and tried to jump in the driver's seat where deputies keep other weapons. The man was shot during a struggle inside the patrol car. He died at the scene. His name is not known yet. You're up to date. That's a look at local news headlines this hour. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore with your Pecos Valley weather. Very strong winds developing across our area, folks. We're looking at that increasing southwesterly wind, especially for the afternoon time. We're talking gusts anywhere from 50 to 60 miles per hour. Blowing dust and low visibility in the forecast for the afternoon, and also critical fire weather conditions. Today's high area-wide for the mid to upper 70s, dropping off to the mid-40s for tonight with still some strong winds early on. That's your latest forecast. I'm Jennifer Naramore.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Walmart will no longer sell cigarettes in some of its stores. Some stores in California, Florida, New Mexico, and Arkansas are on the list. Walmart is not the first national retail chain to cut off cigarette sales, even on a trial basis, but it is the largest. Target ended cigarette sales in 1996, and the drugstore chain CVS Health did the same in 2014. Southwest Airlines reached a tentative agreement Monday with a union representing its customer service agents that would give pay raises totaling more than 16% over the next 3 years to about 7,000 employees. The Machinists Union said its negotiating committee unanimously recommended that members approve the contract in an upcoming ratification vote. During the pandemic, Southwest has seen fewer people apply for some openings, leading the Dallas-based carrier to raise starting pay for many airport-based jobs. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
There's nothing like a good night's sleep. But if your old, worn-out mattress is keeping you up at night, then hurry to Glenn's Furniture and change your life. Glenn's carries Serta, the finest mattress in the world. Whether you prefer a traditional inner spring, a modern memory foam, or a hybrid that combines the best of both, Glenn's has the right size and right firmness in stock, specially priced and ready for free delivery. So don't lay awake another night. Head for Glenn's Furniture at the corner of Union and Alameda, making sweet dreams since 1953.
To plant or not to plant? That is the question. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Our tomato plants and pepper plants are ready to go. If you plant them now, you might have homegrown tomatoes and peppers before anyone else, or the frost might kill them. As Clint Eastwood would say, do you feel lucky? You'll either be the smartest gardener in the county, or you'll get to replant them all over again. I say go for it. You'll get more practice and we'll get more business. This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company, and I apologize to William Shakespeare.
They're back! The Yucca Blossom Trade Show is back and even bigger and better for spring. Saturday and Sunday, April 2nd and 3rd. It's the Yucca Blossom Spring Into Action Trade Show at the Eddy County Fairgrounds in Artesia. Even bigger than ever, with over 100 vendors across 3 buildings at the fairgrounds. And there's lots of activities for the entire family, including the Runyon Ranch Petting Zoo, MJWZ barrel cars, a cornhole tournament, face painting, kids get your picture taken with the Easter Bunny, and so much more. Plus, the food. Some of the best and most popular food trucks will be on hand so you can spend the entire day. Enter to win the raffle with a drawing live on 92.9 The Brand Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m., 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. Saturday, April 2nd, and 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Sunday, April 3rd at the Eddy County Fairgrounds in Artesia. The Yucca Blossom Spring Into Action Trade Show. Don't miss it. Find Yucca Blossom Trade Days on Facebook to see some of the amazing one-of-a-kind items available to you during the Yucca Blossom Spring Into Action Trade Show, April 2nd and 3rd. This invitation paid for by Holly Frontier Navajo Refining Company, a proud member of our community.
Eastern New Mexico University is open for visitors to come to visit our campus. Come be our guest for a guided tour of one of the best small-town college atmospheres in the Southwest. Take a look at all ENMU has to offer, including the best residence halls in New Mexico as recognized by Niche.com. Sign up today for your personal tour of ENMU and our beautiful campus by visiting enmu.edu/visit. Explore, experience, excel. Eastern New Mexico University.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Men are 6 times more likely to be struck by lightning than women. That's because men are 6 times more likely to wear a tinfoil hat in a thunderstorm. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning, 8:58. Thank you to Kyra and Amy for joining us there, and congratulations to Kyra. It's awesome that she's doing well at that. Make sure, folks, if you all want to apply for a scholarship, get it. It's a great thing. It's a really good opportunity. So get on the stick. Get your applications turned in there. Stay tuned next hour. We're going to replay an interview. On Friday, I had some of the gentlemen from American Legion Post 28 join us. Michael Trujillo, Orlando Perdilla, and Louis Mestis, commander over at Post 28. They joined us to invite everyone out to today. Today is Vietnam Veterans Day as we celebrate Vietnam veterans. Well, American Legion Post 28 is going to be doing a Vietnam Veterans Day assembly out at the POW MIA site over by DeBrenham over here at 10 o'clock this morning. And they joined us Friday to talk a little bit about it, talk, Vietnam, talk a little, veterans, things like that. We had a great conversation with them on Friday. And so I figured I'd play that one more time next hour, basically leading up to the event here at 10 o'clock over there, and just kind of a reminder for folks. And hopefully if you're out and about and got a little time on your hands, you make your way over to the POW MIA over there by DeBrenham, just up the street on North Main here, and go and partake in the ceremony. I think you'll enjoy it. It'll be pretty special for folks that get involved. we did a bad job of honoring our Vietnam veterans when they came home, and we need to spend the rest of our lives making up for that. And I think events like today are part of that. So we'll play that interview for you next hour. Town Hall News up next. We'll be back.
Your home for Coast to Coast AM in Roswell, 106.5, Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Turkey's foreign minister reporting some progress in the latest round of Ukraine-Russia peace talks. Turkey is hosting those discussions in Istanbul. And Ukrainian forces showing themselves quite up to the challenge of defending their homeland. Correspondent Charles De Ledesma says they have been making gains against the Russian invaders.
As well as retaking Irpin, Ukrainian forces have also seized back control of Trostianets, south of Sumy in the northeast, after weeks of Russian occupation that's left a landscape devastated by war. Arriving in the town on Monday, shortly afterward, the Associated Press saw the bodies of 2 Russian soldiers lay abandoned in the woods, and Russian tanks lay burned and twisted, while residents lined up amid charred buildings seeking aid. It was unclear where the Russian troops went, under what circumstances they fled, and whether the town will remain free of them.
President Biden refusing to weigh in on the possibility of the January 6th committee interviewing the wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas.
Lawmakers are deciding whether to reach out to Virginia Thomas about her reported texts with former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows on the day of the Capitol attack. President Biden says that question, and whether Justice Thomas should recuse himself from any cases related to January 6th, are legal matters for others to decide.
I would not tell the Justice Department what position to take or not take, and I'm not going to instruct the Congress either.
In those reported texts, Virginia Thomas urged Meadows to work to overturn the 2020 election results. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Wall Street getting a boost from the positive developments out of the Ukraine peace talks. Stocks are higher. The Dow up 267 points. The Nasdaq ahead 166, and the S&P trading 35 points higher. More on these stories. Townhall.com.
I'm about to compare a pepper shaker to a cash-out refinance. Hang with me. You know when you're at a restaurant and they ask, would you like some fresh ground pepper? And then they crank that giant tube, but almost nothing comes out? For me, only a certain amount of time is socially acceptable to wait. I know that getting that pepper out might make my life better, but it just seems too impossible. And that's what we hear people say about the cash-out refinance. People realize that the value of their home has gone up like hot pepper the last few years, leaving all this extra money sitting inside their home. But is it too hard to get out? It's Ryan from United Faith Mortgage. If you're interested in cashing out the extra pepper in your home, we're good at doing all the work while you just sit back and relax. And often, your mortgage payment and years in the loan will stay the same. If you'd like to hear about your options,
we are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Meadow Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
Britain's Queen Elizabeth has attended a Westminster Abbey service of thanksgiving for the life of her late husband, Prince Philip.
The Queen walked into the Abbey on her son Prince Andrew's arm. On her dark green coat, a brooch the Duke had given her. At this service, unlike last year, the Queen could sit near her relatives, Prince Charles and Princess Anne. This time, unlike last year, the congregation could sing, almost 2,000 of them filling the Abbey with music and emotion. And this time, instead of saying goodbye in mourning, they gave thanks for the Prince, the father, the sailor, the man of energy and action that he was.
The BBC's Johnny Diamond. Gulf Arab states holding a summit about the years-long war in Yemen, which the country's Houthi rebels are boycotting because it's taking place in Saudi Arabia, their foe in that conflict. News and analysis at townhall.com. Oregon is ending its residency rule for medically assisted suicide.
Terminally ill people looking to end their own lives will no longer be required to be residents of the state to use the law after a lawsuit challenged the requirement as unconstitutional. In a settlement filed in U.S. District Court in Portland, Oregon's Attorney General agreed to stop enforcing the requirement and asked the legislature to remove it from the law. Advocates say they'll use the settlement to press the 8 other states and Washington, D.C. with medically assisted suicide laws to drop their residency requirements as well. Rhonda Rockster reporting.
President Biden's proposed $5.8 trillion budget is drawing fire. The Heritage Foundation's Richard Stern says its tax increases would kill jobs, take more from people's paychecks, and would stunt growth going forward. Once again on Wall Street this hour, the Dow is up 236 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Crazy inviernos.
Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope it's going swimmingly well for you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Quite nice.
Yeah.
Getting pretty outside.
It is, except for the wind when it starts happening. That's going to be a big bag of stink.
Yeah, but right now, as it stands, it's nice out.
68 and sunny and not windy yet. It's 68, by the way, at 9:06 in the a.m.
Yeah.
By the way, our high is 76 today, so we're not far from the high.
No, get out there and get some stuff done today.
Yeah, because it's going to be
before the wind.
See, because it's going to, unless the wind helps you.
Yeah, which I guess more power to you.
Yeah.
Props to you. Kite flying.
Well, I don't know if it would be good for kite flying. It's hard to control.
Yeah, but one would venture that would make it more fun.
Could be.
Yeah, more of a challenge.
More.
Get them like the complex ones with the 2 strings.
Yeah, get one kites that you don't mind not getting back, because I don't think you're going to get them back today if you go fly them.
I haven't really done a lot of like diving into kite technology.
Yeah.
Because why would I? But I mean, have kites? I mean, I have to imagine kite technology has improved over the last 40 years.
The one place where I see kite technology on display, the beach.
The beach.
Down by the beach.
Right near the beach.
When I,
we're canceled.
A couple years ago when our whole family did a family vacation out to the Outer Banks, and, you know, they have, of course, when you go to the beach there, it's, by the way, by far, if you're a beach person, Outer Banks is my favorite of all. I've had the best beach going experiences. All of them been at the Outer Banks because the crowds it's all beach, so they can be crowded and you're not up each other.
Right. You don't feel like you're
exactly. But
smothered.
Anyway, you know, of course, so you know those towns there in the Outer Banks are all full of. It's like Florida where you go and like it's putt golf cart places, restaurants.
Like
and
very pier set up, like touristy towns.
Liquor stores, you know, a lot of touristy type places. Sure. Well, one of those things is when you're not going to those shops that sell like beach towels and swim trunks and bodyboards and all that.
Shell necklaces.
They got kite shops.
Okay.
And there was several of them down there at the Outer Banks. And you can buy anything from those $2 jobbers that you got at like 7-Eleven or Town and Country or whatever. That was like in that little bin by the checkout. Or you want your highfalutin ones that take like an engineering degree to fly, in actuality don't work half the time, at least for me.
And that's the only like the only thing I remember from kites when I was growing up was in Rio Rancho when we moved there. It was like middle school. They had a kite like festival in this little park that was near my suburb, And so I went out there, and that was the height of kite technology for me, because that was where I saw the ones with the 2 strings, like the boxes, the big, you know, which at the time I was like, how does that even work? I mean, because it didn't have it's not aerodynamic looking, but you're just flying a box. You know, it was really cool because you could do all kinds of like little flippy doos and stuff with them.
Yeah, I think it's just depending on the wind and how you get them up. I think once you get them up, it's easy, but it's getting them up there is where it's hard.
But that was fun just to see.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I was going to say that was fun just to kind of see like 100, kites in the air at the same time.
I can't imagine they cross the stream.
A lot of tangling. Yeah.
But to this day, the best kites for flying were those $2 jobbers at 7-Eleven.
Weirdly, right?
Those things would go right up.
Yeah.
Boop, fly up and launch, and I'm just having a good old time. You get one that's like a high-end kite or one that's an odd shape. I couldn't get that thing off the ground. Like, ooh, a cool dragon. Yeah, that thing's never going in the air.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just hang it from the ceiling of your room and be done with it.
I guess kite technology sort of went away now that we have drone technology. People are just learning how to fly drones. Kites.
Well, see, that's just it, folks. Before we had drones, we had kites. They were like horses. And so we put cameras on the end of the thing.
That's right. That's why before drones were called drones, they were called stringless kites.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a fun fact for you.
And Sean, okay, I can do that. Yes.
All right.
We have a request.
Oh. All right, I'll take it off.
Not yet. Later.
Okay, good.
Later, we'll take it off.
Right, that makes much more sense.
All right, now we're busy.
Cut the camera.
But, and to be honest, I haven't flown a kite since I was a kid.
I think I was like 13, maybe, when I flew.
I think my dad taking me out to some fields down in Maryland to go fly kites is the last time I've ever officially flown kites.
I don't know why I've never thought to take the kids out kite flying, but that's definitely something that, especially around here would be fun.
Now, I take it back. When we went to the Outer Banks, the kids bought some kites, and I sat there and watched them run around the beach trying to get them flying.
You were kite adjacent.
I was kite adjacent, yes, but I wasn't physically flying.
See, that's the problem, though. Kite flying involves running.
Yeah,
I
that's
am
the problem.
not good at that.
And then everyone's like, well, there's plenty of open space. Where's the hardest place to run? On the beach with the sand.
All I was thinking of is there any way I could just launch this kite like a paper airplane, just whoof,
put a propeller
give
on
it a good huff,
and send it off? Yeah, I would like to do that. But
yeah.
What used to make me mad is when you finally get it up, and you get up about, 50 feet, 30 feet.
Yep.
And you're like, all right, maybe we got something. And then the wind changes or something, and it's just, you could tell. It's like, no matter what I do, this thing's coming down.
It just nosedives.
Sometimes it's nosedive. Sometimes it's one of these.
Yeah, but that's you trying to pull the nose up.
And then it goes
try to
down.
pull evasive maneuvers.
Yeah, trying to do some maverick moves.
Some literal, you were trying to get inverted.
Inverted. Oh man, I watched the trailer again.
I could hear. I was like, hear like Town Hall News up next, and then like 7 seconds later, I hear. I'm like, what's going on in the news?
Top Gun.
Yeah, makes much more sense.
There's a scene that's kind of cool in the trailer that I'm kind of excited about, where there's an F-18 flying, and I guess he's got a heat-sinking missile chasing him down. So what the 18 does is it's flying. It punches off flare, and we've ever seen it. It's these sparks of light.
Right.
So it punched off the flare and then hit the brakes and shot straight up to avoid the missile, and it's pretty cool. And that's not CGI. That's flare stuff might be CGI in the missile, but that jet doing what it did was not CGI. That was a jet doing that, and I ain't gonna lie, I was like, oh yeah, that was pretty awesome. And so, as a guy that was Air Force and knows planes and likes that stuff, I was kind of excited.
An hour and a half ago, I was standing completely safe. Nothing was going to happen to me.
On the ladder?
Not even on a ladder. On the roof of a building. And I was terrified. I could never do that. There's no way I could ever wrap my head around being a pilot.
Don't have the need for speed?
I have the need for terra firma. That's what I have. The need for solid ground.
I have the need for sandwich. I'm kind of hungry.
The need for lunch. And here I am just looking for lunch in all the wrong places.
Speaking of military, we're going to replay our interview we had with the folks from American Legion Post 28. They joined us Friday morning talking about their Vietnam Veterans Day assembly that they're going to be having at the POWMIA over by DeBrenham at 10 a.m. this morning. I figured, hey, let's play that right now here before that thing kicks off. Maybe some people are listening, and we'll head their way over there and check out as they celebrate Vietnam Veterans Day, which is today, by the way. All right, it is. So we're going to play that interview for you here in just a few minutes. But before we do any of that, though, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore with your Pecos Valley weather. Very strong winds developing across our area, folks. We're looking at that increasing southwesterly wind, especially for the afternoon time. We're talking gusts anywhere from 50 to 60 miles per hour. Blowing dust and low visibility in the forecast for the afternoon, and also critical fire weather conditions. Today's high area-wide for the mid to upper 70s, dropping off to the mid-40s for tonight with still some strong winds early on. That's your latest forecast. I'm Jennifer Naramore.
Thank you, Jennifer. Currently 68 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 15%. Winds currently out of the southwest at 7 miles per hour. For today, we have a red flag warning that's going to kick in at 10 a.m. here in about 45 minutes, and that will remain in effect through 9 p.m. this evening. High wind warning will take effect at 11 o'clock this morning, and that will remain in through 7 p.m. this evening. Today, it's going to be windy. High of 76 under sunny skies, but some areas of blowing dust this afternoon. Windy, southwest winds 15 to 25, increase in 30 to 40, gusting as high as 55 miles per hour. Tonight, areas of blowing dust mainly before 10 p.m., partly cloudy with an overnight low of 47. Winds will be up out of the west, 30 to 35, gusting as high as 50. Winds will drop down 20 to 25, if you want to call that a decrease, after midnight. Wednesday, there is a rain chance, a 30% chance of rain. They say between 7 and 1 is our sweet spot, but could see showers for the afternoon and early evening hours as well, too. Partly cloudy with a high of 68, north winds 10 to 20, later diminishing 10 to 15 in the day, later in the day there. For Wednesday night, we're looking at a 30% chance of showers, partly cloudy, overnight low 39, winds out of the west 15 to 20. Could see wind gusts as high as 30 miles per hour, so winds picking back up for the evening. And then Thursday, sunny and 69, northwest winds 5 to 10. Friday, mostly sunny, gradually mostly cloudy, then gradually becoming mostly sunny with a high of 79. And then looking at the weekend, sunny and 79 on Saturday, sunny and 86 on Sunday. All right, it is 17 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to play that interview we had on Friday with the folks from American Legion Post 28 talking about their Vietnam Veterans Day assembly, which is happening 10 o'clock this morning. That's coming up next.
ENMU Roswell offers high school students the opportunity to get a head start on their college education journey into healthcare. Through the Allied Health Careers Pathway, high school learners can enroll in dual credit courses that introduce them to a wide range of careers that include emergency medical technician, paramedic, nursing, occupational therapy, respiratory therapy, medical assisting, phlebotomy, and nursing assistant. Start your healthcare career path at ENMU Roswell. Contact your high school counselor for more information.
Score a slam dunk during the March Mania savings event at Roswell Honda with a great lineup of vehicles you can't miss. Like a 2018 Kia Optima for just $279 a month, a 2011 Honda Pilot for just $249 a month, or a 2016 Audi A3 for just $219 a month. Get a 12-pack just for stopping by, a basketball with a test drive, and a Big 5 gift card with purchase. Score big during the slam dunk savings event at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd, or shop online 24/7 and see what's waiting for you at RoswellHonda.com. Hey, all you cats and kitties out there in Radio Land, listen up, because if you're thinking a cruise down Main Street in Artesia sounds like the perfect way to spend a Saturday, well, have I got news for you, because we ain't fooling around. It's the 23rd Annual Main Event Car Show and Cruise, coming up Friday and Saturday, April 1st and 2nd in downtown Artesia. Kicking things off on Friday, April 1st with a parade and cruise down Main Street at 6 p.m. Then come out for a stroll through Heritage Plaza Saturday starting at 9 to see amazing cars from all decades lined up for you to view. Classic cars to antique trucks and even some tractors. There'll be something for everybody. Best of all, spectators are free. For more information or to sign up, call the Artesia Chamber of Commerce at 575-746-2744. That's 575-746-2744, or go online to artesiachamber.com. Don't miss the 23rd Annual Main Event Car Show and Cruise, Friday and Saturday, April 1st and 2nd in downtown Artesia. Paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. A group of 12 or more cows is called a flink. If you have only 11 cows, that's called a lot of cow pies. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 7 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from American Legion Post 28, of course, Louis Mestis back with us, and Michael Trujillo, and Orlando Padilla as well. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
How y'all doing today?
Great.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, glad you had some time to come in and chit-chat with us this morning and talk a little Post 28 stuff. And obviously, the big thing is we're going to invite folks out to an event here on Tuesday. But before we do that, just give a little folks an update. What's going on with Post 28? How you guys doing? How's things been for you?
Well, we've been blessed, and we've been working very hard over at Post 28. Michael and Orlando have been leading the charge on remodeling our cantina.
Nice.
And we painted completely 6,000 square feet of flooring.
Just these two?
I push them pretty hard.
Louis got the whip. These two are hands.
Yeah. I make a good supervisor. But we've been really excited about what we're doing to update the Veteran Post.
Good.
And Orlando has, Michael, of course, has donated a lot of the money to get this done. And Orlando has spearheaded.
Gotcha.
And so we're really excited about that. And on April the 2nd.
Okay.
We're going to have our grand opening.
Well, good. That's next week, isn't it?
Yes.
Man, April's next week. Holy cow.
Yeah. Can you believe that? April the 2nd.
I good call on not having it the 1st, because no one will believe me.
Exactly.
They're like, yeah, right. This is a joke. But April 2nd, all right, it's legit.
But both Michael and Orlando are combat veterans.
Good deal.
And they will be talking about, of course, Michael in Iraq and Orlando in Vietnam. Mm-hmm. And Orlando will talk now about what we're going to do on Tuesday.
Yeah, on Tuesday of next week here, we want to invite folks out. Going to have a veterans, I guess you could say, appreciation recognition here a little bit. And that's going to be Tuesday morning, 10 a.m., right? Yep. 10 a.m., and it's going to be at the POW site right up there by DeBrennan Park.
Yes, right. POW MIA Park.
Yes. I never get things right, technically. What's the official term? I'm like, the thing over here. I don't know. I'm very bad at that kind of stuff. But we want to get the public to come out and for a nice little. It's not a long ceremony; it'll just be a little bit here. But we want to come and honor our veterans. And one of the things American Legion is supporting our veterans, and one of the pillars is looking out for our veterans and things. So not only helping them with resources, but honoring them and raising awareness to public on why the role of the veteran is important in our community. So I think events like this really set the tone for that. Orlando, you as being a Vietnam vet, that's. Obviously, we had our Veterans Day parade last year was honoring our Vietnam vets, and this is the one we always, when we talk about veterans, and I don't care what theater or what war you served in or anything like that, but one thing I always talk about with Vietnam vets is that's the one we messed up on. You know what I mean? We've gotten it right after. Right? I think Gulf War, we learned the lesson, and Gulf War, America was like, you know what, we need to honor the folks that serve our country.
Right.
But we forgot that lesson in Vietnam, and I think a lot of us are going to spend the rest of our lives making up for that a little bit, or at least try to.
Exactly.
So I think events like this on Tuesday kind of help towards that too. I mean, wouldn't you agree, Orlando?
Yes, Mike. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.
And as a former Vietnam vet, I served with the 1st Air Cav in 1969-70. And this particular day, we honor as National Vietnam Veteran War Day, Vietnam War Day, and this is probably our 4th or 5th year we've done this at Post 28. Mm-hmm. And, of course, it couldn't have been done without these guys and all the other vets, members we have at Post 28. Done a lot of work out there at the Post. And, we just one day that we honor them, but, throughout 365 days out of the year, if you see a Vietnam vet, thank him,
Absolutely.
But I'd like to say a few things few facts about the Vietnam War. And, okay. It's estimated that over 600,000 Vietnam vets are still alive. 600,000.
Wow. But that number is dwindling.
It is dwindling very fast,
yeah.
Yes. They range between 55 and 97 years old. The average range is about 19 years old. The National Vietnam War Vet Day is a national holiday. It's observed March 29th. It's going to be observed this Tuesday out there at POWMIA Park.
Yes, by De Bremen there, right?
Yes.
Right up the street.
Absolutely. There were 258 Medal of Honor recipients during the Vietnam War. 500,000 attended a war rally in 1969, Washington, D.C., and that was not really a war rally, it was really a peace rally, That
was on the mall there, right?
Yes,
yeah.
and it's a far cry from what the one that happened last year, when all those that went to Washington, D.C. and made a big scene.
Yeah.
That was a war cry there.
The one during Vietnam era was a little more peaceful.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah. It's not easy to talk about the war, for a lot of Vietnam vets. Mm-hmm. But some are coming out of the shell and talking more about it, soldiers returning are not so. The soldiers that were returning at that time, they didn't receive the respect, like you said, of the American public.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of stories, that happened to these Vietnam War veterans. One of the things that's not talked about are the ones that returned back from
Mm-hmm.
Vietnam and died here, and from complications of the Vietnam War.
Sure.
So those are important, and we want to recognize those and those that are still living, and the KIA also.
Talk to some Vietnam vets about Agent Orange and ask their thoughts on that.
Exactly, yeah. And the way things are going now, they finally realize that Agent Orange has has devastated a lot of Vietnam War vets.
And that's the physical. We're not talking PTSD and all the mental aspects that combat brings with it. That's just the Agent Orange exposure to that alone.
Exactly. And a lot of Vietnam veterans that I speak to, they speak to this effect. And there's several symptoms of Agent Orange, but there should be more coming out, because it's all coming out now with this.
And how many people lost lives to cancers and things and didn't associate that connection there? That what I mean? Just
exactly.
They got cancer and died, and they just said, "Oh, it's a shame they got cancer." But they probably, if they do some medical research, you might find out, they got cancer because of their exposure to Agent Orange in 1968. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
So. How many of those cases happen that we don't know about?
Exactly. And they were not compensated for it.
Yeah.
One of the famous Vietnam War quotes was by Martin Luther King. He said, Vietnam War, he said, the war in Vietnam is but a symptom of a far deeper malady within the American spirit. So he realized, at that time also, Martin Luther King, the severity, the things that were going on within. It's a war that the American soldier did not really welcome to go,
mm-hmm.
but went.
Yeah. Not to mention, kind of like times right now. We in the civil rights era there, it was a turbulent time in our own countries. In the world at that moment. We're at war in Vietnam, but at the same time here back at the home front, they're protesting the war, but civil rights are being fought as well at that same time. So it was a recipe for when these vets came home. They were looked at as the tool of the government and were treated as such. And unfortunately, that's we're paying for that now.
Yes. Well, all the ones that were killed in Chaves County, 26 of them?
22.
22 of them were killed. They'll be honored at the ceremony Tuesday.
Yes.
And found out that there's over 2,000 that were killed from New Mexico alone.
2,000 killed in action.
Killed in action. KIA, yes, in the Vietnam War from New Mexico. So we had a bunch, you know. It kind of tells you, the Vietnam War vets. That they probably didn't like the idea of going, but they went anyway, to serve their country, But anyway,
some didn't have a choice; they were drafted.
Well, I'm one of those. Yes,
people, young folks, it's kind of hard for them to wrap their head around the concept of the draft because, thank God, they haven't lived a life where they've had to see something like that, and so, so it's kind of hard to till you see it, witness it. It's kind of hard to think about it. So I hope to God our next future generations never have to experience that. But if you do. Talk to fellows like Orlando here. He can give you some experience.
I was the last draft in 1971.
Were you?
That was the last year that they drafted.
Well, and then you got a lot of people too. Depending on your draft numbers, they're gonna be like, "Uh-oh, I got a low draft number. I'm gonna join the Air Force."
Yeah.
Or I got a high draft number. I'm gonna ride it out a little bit, see what happens.
Well, you know what, Mike? It's a good point because a lot of this particular ceremony honors all of us, in the military now, that are in the military now, and the veterans. And let's not forget the Vietnam era veterans, because most of them wanted to go to Vietnam, but never had a chance to. Lose one of them, and he got stationed in the Philippines. But all R&R. No, I'm just joking.
Well, hindsight being 2020, you probably made out with the good assignment.
No, as a matter of fact, though, those guys over there. Well, he was in the Marine. He was a Marine. They got exposed to Agent Orange too.
Sure.
No.
Yeah. There's no picnic at these places. If you're not in direct, your support of, and all of it involves a risk and definite. CYA, cover your butt and all this on there, making sure you're taken care of.
And of course, Mike, was exposed to a different kind of chemical, so, it's all the same. He'll probably tell you about it. I'll just close real quick.
I get you.
I'll just close real quick with, the MIA, POW soldiers, 2,500 of them, of these Americans, 1,200 reported killed in action, and their body was not recovered. That's sad to hear. For their families.
Look at it. I mean, was it a year ago or 2 years ago? Where they're still, finding remains and reuniting families with their loved ones here in 2021, 2020, and it's like, man, that's it's 50 years later.
Exactly. I know. It's unreal.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I'll just say that 58,220 Americans died in Vietnam, and if you ever see a Vietnam veteran or know of anybody. Call him and thank him, and I'll close with this quote that I always use. Not everyone who lost his life in Vietnam died there. Not everyone who came home from Nam ever left there.
Mm-hmm. You know what, though? And this is something that I'm actually a little happy about. I'm starting to see stories now. And Orlando, thank you very much for sharing that. I appreciate it. Sorry, I didn't mean to just kind of, but I just had a thought and I wanted to. But, I'm starting to see stories now of some reunitings and things where some Vietnam vets that served during that time and are going back to Vietnam here in 2020 and meeting up with some of the people that they faced and some of the villages that they were at and meeting the people. And I think that's a little bit of great healing for some folks because everything I see there is now you're seeing the people in the war. Back then, you weren't seeing that. You're seeing the war. And now you're seeing the faces and the people, and you're like, man. And then, of course, as you look as an older person, you're probably, what were we thinking back then? You know what I mean? But that's life. And you look back and reflect on it sometimes.
It's like there's a few veterans that have opened up a lot in the last couple of years. And I don't know what it is, but the last couple of years, they started telling their story.
Sure.
Before then, they wouldn't talk about it or anything.
Maybe we're in a world where people feel more comfortable or maybe, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to say we know anything, as far as where we're at with PTSD and things, but I think we're in a place in the world now where people understand it's more to it. And they may even not, even if they don't know what's going on, they're like, that person's experienced things I can't wrap my head around. Let's cut them some slack. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think we're in that world now a little bit. So maybe people that, Vietnam vets especially, where are keep it in. We're here to be the iron and the iron cross in the sand here. You know what I mean? We're not so forthcoming with that. And I think now we live in an environment where people are like, hey, we need to listen to these folks. I mean, I don't know where they're 100%, but I think we're living. So maybe that's something to do with it, where some of these veterans, even our Vietnam War veterinarians, where they've been kind of keeping this down for the last 30 years, are now
opening up,
able to say, you know what, this is the stuff I saw, and this is what I hope you guys don't have to ever see. So we'll see. Which is a good thing, and I imagine it's probably better for our younger generations or veterans now here. I'm not saying Gulf War veterans, you guys had it good, or you know what I mean, but certainly a Gulf War veteran is treated better than a Vietnam War veteran. We've learned since in that time, and you know what I mean. And I'm hoping when we get to when our kids that are over right now, in Afghanistan, we're over in these various theaters doing their thing, sitting in Kuwait still today, when they have to deal with their demons later on, they've got a support cast that helps deal with that kind of stuff, So think about that when you come out on Tuesday. I think that's when we talk about veterans and we talk about why we honor and why the role of the veterans is important, and it's for all those reasons. And even the veterans that did not have to go up and say, you know what, I didn't have to sit in the foxhole. I was one of the lucky ones here. But we thank them because they're willing to. And you know what? That's something we can't, as a veteran, you don't get to pick where you go sometimes. They put you where they put you and say, do what you got to do. And you're like, okay. Yeah. And so the fact that you're willing to step up and say, this is a country that I believe in what it stands for, and I want to do my part to make sure that its values are available to the next generations after me. And that's why we think a veteran is a pretty important person in our society. So love to have you come out. 10 o'clock, again, on Tuesday morning, and it's at the POW-MIA, why can I never get the right word? Memorial. I can never get that word. The right word.
A lot of people don't know where that park is at. And I always describe it as where the German prisoners...
Yeah, the POW, the German POW... again,
placed a Maltese cross on the concrete there. But what we've tried to do this year is pull all the veteran organizations we could to represent and to present. We've contacted...
we have some great groups in our area.
We do.
Here. Yeah.
And, Bob Woolley's done an amazing job. He's a board member up at Angel Fire.
Okay.
And then he's a board member at... Fort Stanton.
Okay.
And that organization is working with PTSD. And, of course, he'll be there. And we've got many other organizations that are going to come together that day to honor National Vietnam Veteran Day.
And we'd love the public to come and spend a few minutes with us here as we celebrate our Vietnam veterans here on Tuesday. I know it's in the middle of the day kind of for folks, but if you're off work or you're off that day, or maybe take an early lunch, come and spend a few minutes here with us and I guarantee once you get there, you're going to see vets, you're going to see people there, and I think it's a great reminder for everyone about why our country's awesome and why our community's awesome, and events like this remind us of that as we honor, celebrate, mourn our veterans and things. We also use this as a moment to say, this is why we do what we do. We're here as a community. We're here as one people to honor those that have sacrificed for us, and at the same time celebrate those and remind our future generations. That's things on Tuesday. It's I think honoring those that served is very important, but as important is using this to be an example to our youth to and I think and this is something that I've always preached up here at like Veterans Day. I know veterans, you guys know better than I do. veterans aren't ones that toot their horns and walk around and tout that kind of stuff. They keep low key. You know, you want to honor them at a veterans parade or a veterans assembly. Most of us are kind of like, thanks, but I'm good. I'll just have my coffee and sit in the corner here and be good to go. But veterans, our charge is kind of to participate some of this, because we got to be the example for younger folks, because these younger folks are going to make the same decisions we made at some point, and we got to be there to kind of show them why these are the decisions you make, and why what happens when you don't.
Yeah, and we are all volunteers.
Yeah.
Now it's no draft anymore; it's a volunteer army.
Yeah,
and I think that's what makes us the best army in the world.
Absolutely,
because we believe in what we're doing for our country.
Absolutely,
and standing for what we believe in. So with that, there's a few things that we're also doing. I know we're kind of running out of time.
A little bit of time. We're good.
There at the park also. We're going to be maintaining the flags. We bought plenty of flags.
Oh, good.
We're working with the city.
Okay.
We've also donated solar lights for that area.
Nice.
So I'm not sure exactly where they're going to put them, but we've donated that.
Good deal. So do some upkeep and some maintenance and upgrades out there.
Right, and then there's other activities we're having, which next week we're going to have the grand opening.
Yeah.
The following week we're
come see these two's hard work all the day.
We didn't just do the main hall. We also redid the bar too.
Okay.
So the bar's practically brand new. So we did that.
So we'll have to come over for your little party and see the new digs here. Yeah.
So and then and I think I was discussing. I'm trying to get him to bring down the price of the beer. We'll find out what happens. So anyway,
he's not budging.
I got it down a little bit. I want to get it down a little bit more. So we'll see what happens.
Louis, he's a line in the sand. He ain't moving.
And then we're also having a car show. When is it, Louis?
May the 14th.
Okay.
Yeah, May the 14th.
We'd like to have everybody come out.
And that'll be at the Post 28.
Yes. Any car clubs, please get a hold of us.
Good deal. So bikes, lowriders, vintage, hot rod, whatever you're into, come and show it off at Post 28.
One of our members, Joe Lovato, is in charge of that.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we're one more other thing we're having is we always have every year is our flag ceremonies, and that
retirement ceremony,
and we have a lot of flags. So
that'll be this summer, right?
Yeah, it'll be
June, I think.
Well, we're going to probably have it twice.
Is that many?
I think we're sharing with Post 61 too.
Yeah, I think we're doing a joint one.
Yeah, because there's just so many flags that people have turned in, and they more and more people have brought flags to the Legion. We have a little
fire pit or
Well, we also have a place where you could bring the flags to.
Oh, a drop off.
Yeah, a drop off.
Okay.
And it's an old mailbox is what it is, and you just and we have to empty it a lot. So I'm glad they're doing that instead of just throwing the flag away, because for me as a flag, it's a living thing. It's a symbol. It's a symbol, but it's a living symbol, and that's very important. For us veterans, when we see that flag, that's what it stands for.
That's
for us.
Yeah.
So, but
it's a beacon for some.
Right.
I mean, you look at like the Iwo Jima Memorial. That's like the beacon of the flag in wartime. You look, that moment that we remember and celebrate from Iwo Jima. That's kind of what we're talking about.
So
here.
So if you have a flag that's already either that lost its color or torn, bring it to the Legion, and we'll dispose of it like it's supposed to. Honor that flag.
Absolutely. And then we'll tell you dates when they're going to do their time, because we'd love to have you come out and participate that too. Because what it's really cool, because the flags get cut, to the stripes down. They burn them by the stripes, but then the stars. They cut the stars out of the blue field there, and generally we offer those as keepsakes, mementos. A lot of times a family member will honor a family member that's a veteran by having one of those done in their honor, and sometimes people keep them in their wallets. It's more of a keepsake or a memento. And so if you'd like to get one of those, we'd love to have you come out. And I think I've got one in my wallet right now. Matter of fact, we always keep. It's just that's part of the tradition of retiring a flag. So.
And we want to thank you. I know you're the voice of veterans. We all know that here in Roswell. That you
I just
are
try to help.
I know you're a member of the American Legion, and you're our voice, and we certainly want to appreciate all you do for us, Mike.
I think as a veteran myself, I also know the role of the veteran, and I know veterans are just cut from a different cloth sometimes, and we need to let people know, and veterans are always willing to serve. We're a different breed. We don't put up with nonsense as quickly as sometimes and things like that. But at the end of the day, we have big hearts and we want to help and we have a lot of veterans that are in need of help and are too stubborn to ask. We got to get out there and be a little stubborn for them.
Right.
Exactly.
Because we're good at that. And I also want to invite any veteran. Come on out to Post 28. Come 61. I don't care. Just come find your VFW. Get involved in some of these activities here and meet. Like I said, Post 28's got the new digs up here. Maybe come out to the grand opening and have a see and maybe become a member. It'd be a great opportunity to come and see and be part because you guys have that the big social side of it too at Post 28. Post 61, we do a lot of things, but we don't have a meeting space like 28 does. It's designated for us, so you guys get to do some of that kind of stuff, which helps with the social aspect, which is very much as part of American Legion as the service side. We do that service side, but American Legion helps its own, and sometimes the best way to help a veteran is over a beer on a Thursday night, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so that's where a lot of work's done too.
Michael, we have we always wanted to get new members to come in, and veterans. The American Legion is a special organization because it has really 4 components with it. The American Legion itself, the Ladies Auxiliary, the Sons of the American Legion, and of course there's also the Legion Riders.
Yeah.
We don't have any Legion Riders here, but we do have the other 3.
And if there's enough interest, there can be a Riders.
Yes.
Exactly.
Definitely.
We're always open for that, But if you are a member of Post 28 or even 61, and you need to renew, come by. We're going to have a membership day to come in, and recruit and more new members and old members, and even transfers if you wanted to transfer also. So we
just want you to get back involved.
Yeah.
And then if your father or grandfather or mother or served in the military and you want to become a member of the American Legion, you can become a member of the Sons.
Absolutely.
Also.
Yeah.
So that's the other deal. The Sons are a different organization, but it still works with the American Legion.
It's all part of the umbrella of the American Legion there. But yeah, if several years ago, 3 or 4, American Legion changed it so if you're a veteran that served honorably before Pearl Harbor, you're eligible to become a Legionnaire. And they had changed that date, I don't know, about 4 or 5 years ago here. But so you can do so. Any veteran that served honorably before Pearl Harbor or after Pearl Harbor is eligible to become American Legion. Your sons, exactly. If your father, if you served, and that makes you eligible to become a son here. And then the auxiliary spouses, and that's including men. Right. If you're a spouse of a veteran, you can be on the auxiliary, and I know I'm sure there's probably a man or two, and probably use a few more men to kind of help join the numbers in the auxiliary there too. But you're eligible to be a part of that as well. So, and you can be in multiple. You can if we were joking the other day about being because I'm a son and I'm a Legionnaire.
We are too. Yeah.
But I was like, could someone be all 3? And technically, if you married a veteran, then you could be an all 3.
Right. Some of us are dual members,
Yeah.
American Legion and the Sons. But we're lucky to have the support that we do from the Sons of the American Legion and also the auxiliary.
Yeah.
And I'm sure 61 is too.
Yeah.
And all the Legion posts all over New Mexico. Did you want to say something about the district meeting?
Oh, that's this Saturday. Yeah. And of course, that's more of an internal thing. But of course, if you want to learn more about Legion and all that too, First United Methodist Church at 10 a.m. this Saturday, the District 6 of the American Legion here, which is pretty much southeast New Mexico, they're going to be having a meeting at First United Methodist Church beginning at 10. If you're a Legionnaire or been a Legionnaire or interested in being a Legionnaire, there'll be a lot of people who will be happy to tell you all about Legion there at the meeting on Saturday, too.
Yeah, the state commander will be there. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So. You'll be a lot of different color hats. It's like, why's he got a white hat, a blue and a white hat, and orange? What's going on here?
That's a good question, though. A lot of members don't know that, but it's something we need to, get across to everybody,
Absolutely.
As members,
Is there a phone number, or so if someone had any questions, want to learn more about Post 28? I mean, they can always come by there, but I know, depending on what time of day you come, you might be not finding too many people there. But if someone wants to talk to somebody, what's the best way to do that?
They can get a hold of me as the commander of Post 28, 575-317-8689.
Okay.
And as I said, Tuesday's going to be a great day because we're pulling together all these veteran organizations. For example, the Veterans of Foreign War. They're starting their chapter up again.
Yeah.
Chris Hicks.
Okay.
He's a Vietnam veteran. And so we're working with him. And actually, Post 28 is going to donate $100 to the Veterans of Foreign War.
Good to help get them going.
As they get started. And
another great organization.
It is. Yes. It is. And they'll be there on Tuesday.
Good deal. Excellent. Is Chaves County veterans they're going to be involved?
Yes. Bethany Anderson.
Oh, great.
And the Chaves County veterans.
Good deal. They'll add a little ceremony to the ceremony.
Yeah. Southeast New Mexico Transportation.
Okay.
Magel Duran, who does an excellent job of giving rides to veterans that need to go to Albuquerque or Artesia.
They do so much great work there. And I can always look for more help. And so if you'd like to help out, either as a driver or financially, they reach out to them.
Well, we're blessed to have Magel over there at Post 28 with us. But I didn't want to say that we are still looking for, and I'll say it again, renewals, members that want to renew. We have a bunch that haven't renewed yet.
Sure.
But they can call me, Orlando Padilla, at 575-317-1070 if you want to renew your membership.
Yeah, very
or
good.
Become a new member.
Or become a new member.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
I'm glad you guys gave yourselves numbers up.
We'll give them for you.
That's right. Louis like, I got Michael's right here. Hold on. Very good. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for your involvement in our community. And we'll see you guys out here on Tuesday. I get off there right at 10. So so if you see a guy kind of like, running and trying to catch up, that'll be me.
Awesome.
I'm going to go right from here heading to the POW MIA site there on Tuesday. Cool. So thank you, gentlemen. We'll see you. I'll see you this Saturday, too.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Take care, guys.
Thank you.
Now for a Pecos Valley News update, I'm Jared Cirillo. We continue following a developing story out of southern Chaves County, where a deputy has been involved in a deadly shooting. Sheriff Mark Cage says deputies had responded to the 100 block of East Jackson Road for reports that a man was hitting tractors with a metal pipe and trying to steal the machinery from a local dairy. It's believed the man was under the influence of either drugs or alcohol. He immediately began fighting with the first deputy that arrived, so the deputy tried to taser the man to subdue him, but that was ineffective. A second deputy arrived, and the man was eventually cuffed and placed in the back of a patrol car. But somehow he slipped the cuffs and got out of the cruiser and tried to jump in the driver's seat where deputies keep other weapons. The man was shot during a struggle inside the patrol car. He died at the scene. His name is not known yet. You're up to date. That's a look at local news headlines this hour. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
Waking up on the right side. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
We're going to raise corporations are now going to pay their fair share. I'm going to put in place a billionaires cut. That's really for millionaires. Maybe that sounds appealing. Yeah, they got to pay their fair share. 57% fully of Americans last year did not pay a penny in federal income tax. 57%. So you already have now full and complete redistribution of wealth. Only 43% of Americans pay any income tax, And just to add insult to injury, amount of money the federal government took in was a record amount. And they're taxing people to death. He wants to build out the IRS to basically so everyone gets the Sean Hannity treatment, which is you get audited every year, which is why I pay every single solitary penny and follow every law.
From coast to coast, from sea to shining sea, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
I'm not the best at making decisions on decor at my house. For custom window treatments, I just use Blinds.com. You'll save up to 35% off site-wide at Blinds.com to make your dream home a reality. Now, I've seen firsthand how custom window treatments, it's a minor home improvement that has a major impact. Plus, you get installation on unlimited windows for your entire home at one low cost. Blinds.com, save up to 35% off site-wide. Blinds.com, tell them your friend Sean Hannity sent you. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore with your Pecos Valley weather. Very strong winds developing across our area, folks. We're looking at that increasing southwesterly wind, especially for the afternoon time. We're talking gusts anywhere from 50 to 60 miles per hour. Blowing dust and low visibility in the forecast for the afternoon, and also critical fire weather conditions. Today's high area-wide for the mid to upper 70s, dropping off to the mid-40s for tonight with still some strong winds early on. That's your latest forecast. I'm Jennifer Naramore.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Let's catch you up on what happened with the Lindsey Callahan softball tournament in Dexter over the weekend. It was Dexter winning their own tournament by a score of 7-6 in the championship on Saturday. Got to the finale by knocking off Raton on Friday by a score of 9-4 in the semifinals. Now, Dexter, unfortunately, turned around and played Loving in 2 games yesterday. I guess they're probably wondering why they scheduled to play Loving 2 days after the championship of the Lindsey Callahan, but they did, and Loving won yesterday 12-1 in the first game and then 18-12 in the second game. So a lot of runs given up yesterday, so we don't know what was going on with the pitching situation there. Dexter right back in action, though, today at 4 o'clock against Jowl. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Russia-Ukraine peace talks back on track. Wall Street pleased about that. The benchmark's opening with healthy gains this morning on optimism about a potential settlement. United Health Group is spending about $5.4 billion to delve deeper into home health care with the acquisition of LHC Group. The healthcare giant will pay $170 cash for each share of LHC stock, deal expected to close later this year. Nielsen being acquired for $16 billion, including debt, about a week after the TV ratings and market data company rejected a $9 billion offer. Chinese authorities trying to reassure business and jittery investors as a 2-phase lockdown of Shanghai's 26 million people enters its second day, casting an unusual quiet over the normally bustling center of finance, manufacturing, and trade in China. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
They're back! The Yucca Blossom Trade Show is back and even bigger and better for spring. Saturday and Sunday, April 2nd and 3rd. It's the Yucca Blossom Spring Into Action Trade Show at the Eddy County Fairgrounds in Artesia. Even bigger than ever with over 100 vendors across 3 buildings at the fairgrounds. And there's lots of activities for the entire family, including the Runyon Ranch Petting Zoo, MJWZ Barrel Cars, a cornhole tournament, face painting, kids get your picture taken with the Easter Bunny, and so much more. Plus, the food. Some of the best and most popular food trucks will be on hand so you can spend the entire day. Enter to win the raffle with a drawing live on 92.9 The Brand Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m., 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. Saturday, April 2nd, and 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Sunday, April 3rd at the Eddy County Fairgrounds in Artesia. The Yucca Blossom Spring Into Action Trade Show. Don't miss it. Find Yucca Blossom Trade Days on Facebook to see some of the amazing one-of-a-kind items available to you during the Yucca Blossom Spring Into Action Trade Show, April 2nd and 3rd. This invitation paid for by Holly Frontier Navajo Refining Company, a proud member of our community.
Your home for Kim Commando in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
And it is closing in on 10 o'clock. That's about going to do it for us. If you missed any part of our show, you can check it out at your leisure. Just log on to ksvptv.com, click on the Mornings with Mike Winter's channel, and there you'll find it. Then you can watch it till your heart's content. You can also check it out on our 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM Facebook wall. We have a YouTube channel as well that you can follow our videos and things on too. So thank you very much for allowing us to be a part of your day. I hope all of you have an awesome day. We'll be back bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow with an all-new show. Till then, take care. We'll